Day,
Happy
everyone.
middle of the week to you.
Oh, wait, you... I know what that drink is from.
You know what that drink is from.
It's from his Bachelor Pad article.
Yeah.
Hi, Aaron. Good to see you.
So actually, I'm not going to tell you what's in this because it's in the article. So you get the latest Bachelor Pad. Issue 60 is in production now, and that will be released imminently. I think he likes to get those out pretty fast because this is coming up like that.
Hi, Lisa. Good to see you.
I figured I still have some of this. Might as well start. I'm usually lagging way behind in drinks at this show, so let's actually get a jump on the whole action.
Gettysburg Ma'am says there's a lag issue on the tubes. Yes, and a lag issue with Paul's drink.
It's good. Lag issue.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Aaron. Yeah, we're in our Tiki room.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, when it's warm enough, we like to be out here, and it's finally warm enough.
It's
certainly
warm enough. I mean, the actual extreme heat
hello,
we had for
hello,
a couple of
Alan
days.
and Elizabeth. I loved your picture, Elizabeth. Thank you. And hello, Eric.
I like the hello myself.
Good to see you.
A little WW2 reference to you. So, marvelous. You may also be wondering why I'm holding an ice bucket.
Because there's nowhere to put it.
That's exactly the reason why I'm holding an ice bucket.
Okay, hold on. I'll make you some space.
But I wasn't going to try to make space in 30 seconds before the broadcast. So
I know.
We'll allow the lovely assistants to...
We have assistant, excuse me.
Co-host to... I would say my lovely assistant because that's what they say. My lovely assistant.
The lovely boss.
Yeah.
All right,
HBIC.
hold on. The HBIC.
It's okay. I'm still holding. Okay.
All right.
Oh, sorry. I'm underfoot.
Making some space over here.
Taking care of this. There's literally less room over here than we normally have. We don't have like 2 feet deep behind us to plonk things.
And it's not like we have so much space in the other room. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually pretty at a premium as well. You don't say. Boom.
Hold this, please.
I don't know if I do. Okay.
All right.
Wait a minute. I'm still holding something.
Whew, I'll take it.
There we go. Excellent.
Whew. Got that straightened out.
Got that thing going.
Okay.
So.
Well, one of the reasons.
There we go.
One of the reasons why there's less room on the bar is because I made snack mix.
Snack mix.
I'm going to share the recipe with you.
Hi,
Julie. And hello, Felicia. Good to see you.
So nice to have you here.
And Dean, hello.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
And GFB, awesome. Good to see you.
Yes. Alan and Elizabeth.
All coming in. Where did this recipe for the snacks come from, by the way?
And Lisa's on both platforms.
Hey,
Thank you.
I kind of like that myself.
So this, isn't it wine day as well? Well, we have a little wine.
There's one wine.
Actually, we have bubbles.
We got bubbles. I don't know. You start breaking into the bubbles and then all sorts of hell breaks loose. I'm telling you.
Twist my arm. It's wine day. I know.
Yes.
National Wine Day. We do have some wine we could bust out.
We could break out some wine. That could happen.
I could be in favor of that.
We might find ourselves towards a Glendora wine glass. And if you do not yourself have a Glendora wine glass, talk to us. We can.
If you feel like you need one, we can make that happen.
They are available for sale in our store, although should people just contact us, I guess.
Let me see. What did I do?
Function still does.
Our store is so out of date now. Oh my gosh, I have exciting news, by the way.
Oh yeah. We set up the store a few years ago so that we could handle all the merchandise that we had. Some of that, of course, is sold out by now. And then like all of the pricing just went haywire and it just became very hard. So. Let
me see. Okay, so if you go to our website, it says that the wine glasses are out of stock. It's because shipping them, the shipping got all screwed up. So if you want a wine glass, let me know.
Let us know.
And we'll get you the real
shipping price. Put them in a package, get you an
price.
actual quote, and tell you what's what.
It's Glendora's Day, yes.
It is seldom cheap to ship glass because it's a heavy item, but we do it the cheapest way possible.
So anyway,
just so
we ordered new bar towels.
Oh yeah,
we're going to have new Velveteen Lounge bar towels in 2 different colors.
Yeah, big fun.
We'll definitely have them by Ohana, but we'll have them available for mail order.
Should we show an example of what they used to look like and what they're going to look like very close?
Sure.
I'll go get it.
Oh, Lisa's drinking out of her Glendora wine glass. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Doesn't it make wine taste better? Anyway, he's going to show you that. Oh, hi, Jamie. Good to see you. It's also National Plastic Free Day, says Gettysburg Ma'am.
Plastic free? Oh.
Drink that wine in a glass and not a solo cup. Amen.
There you go. Well, I doubt that we're plastic free. In fact, there's some plastic on this fine volume I'm pawing over here right now. But we're not going to be drinking out of any plastic containers. This is true.
No.
We minimize it. Everything in this house is reusable, and even like food scraps go into the compost bin. And then if anything goes off, it's like we just didn't get to it in time. I always feel bad about wasting food, but sometimes life intervenes. That goes in compost too. It's already decaying. It all forms dirt.
Already decaying.
We put the dirt inside the pots where we plant the peppers in the spring. And they're coming in right now, and they're primarily going into a compost. It's 100% organic. And I tell you, it's awesome. Makes great plants. Meantime, we're talking about towels. So this is the old model towel, which had the black background. It's a fabulous device. One side of this is a nice absorbent cotton, and the other side of this is a nice polyester into which you can get a nice digital print. That's a lot of nice going on. It's nice.
It's very nice.
Very nice.
It's so nice.
Very plush, right? So the new design is same design with different color background. There is a sort of...
Hi, Elizabeth.
There's like a magenta and a teal, I believe, that we're doing.
Yeah, we got a magenta and a teal. It's the same pattern.
Yep, same pattern.
But in different colors.
But you can see. But there was so this is no longer available, sold out, but new, coming soon. We will let you know what the pricing looks like, and I think shipping these will be less than the glassware. It's always nice to see us. There's nice again in person for glassware. We will have some at the Lake George in like 1 month's time. Oh boy.
Less than 1 month's time.
There we go.
Because the room crawl is a month from yesterday.
Yeah.
So
that would already
the kickoff
be done.
party is a month from 2 days ago.
Oh boy, I need a drink. There we go.
Hi, Michael. Good to see you. Oh, make me a drink with gin and sparkling lemonade. Ew.
Oh.
That sounds nice. We don't have any. We can't do that this week, but we can do that next week.
We can do that next week. Yeah, we'll have to find some sparkling lemonade.
That sounds good.
It's actually
I'm going to give myself a note right now.
There's a really good one from Trader Joe's. I know. Of course, I'd have to get to a Joe's, which is not that close to us, but I know that Joe sells, and I think our local supermarket has some imported Italian soda.
Yep.
I think this is an Italian family started the supermarket. They used to have a great blood orange soda, which I think they're out of.
I gave myself a note.
But I think they got a good sparkling lemonade that we could pick up. That's easy. And with gin, hey, put those two over some rocks, like about a shot of the gin, fill up with lemonade. You're kind of done, but let's put something else in there.
Eric says, I have hard lemonade on hand. We got some hard lemonade in Lake George. Speaking of Ohana,
we did.
Really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was really good.
We still have...
Lisa's got a bar towel. Thank you.
Hey, awesome.
Yay, thank you.
I think we still have some of those pre-mixed cans in here that came
Oh, yeah.
from...
Yeah, we do. Actually, speaking of...
I forget the manufacturer.
Spiked lemonade.
Oh, yeah.
Lee
Spirits. That's right. Thank you.
Maybe we'll open one later.
Well, maybe we just will. Because we got those. Those were pre-mixed with various products. I think primarily whiskey.
In the meantime...
Well, in the meantime...
We have some drinks to make.
As you see, I got to jump on that. But that's because I had to mix this up earlier.
He had to.
For an article. You got to QC. I don't like to throw down on a recipe that just came out of my head saying like, oh, that'll be good. I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe
I forgot something.
But if I mix it up and it's still good, there you go. And sometimes you think, yeah, this will be great. And you say, nah, I could use a little more lemon. You put it in, nails it shut. You change the proportions. There's a kicker.
I am making this drink according to
plan.
The specifications. It's from the Pacifica. I'm going to go grab it. I can't remember the name of it.
Pacifica Island?
Pacifica Hawaii Cookbook. Let me get it.
I need some snack mix myself.
It's from Pacifica House. It's from the Pacifica House Hawaii Cookbook. And it's the Pinot Pepe.
Pinot Pepe.
So, I need the... Actually, you're supposed to use shaved ice for this, but I'm not gonna stand on ceremony.
Not shaving ice right now. I will do it from time to time just to make things happen properly.
Oh, Eric's doing this thing where he tries all the drinks as knee slice. I love that.
There you go.
I love that.
Well, you would like to assemble inside this guy right here?
Yes, please.
Okay, here's your beaker.
So Pinot Pepe.
Pinot Pepe.
Starts with both of these drinks that I have from the Pacifica House Cookbook are big.
Slightly strong.
Yeah, okay.
So.
It calls for 1.5 ounces of light rum.
Yep.
Every week I say, we need a bigger bar.
Yeah.
And,
This
and I
bottle
mean
was
it.
designed to fit this footprint nicely, which it does. But it was not designed to have vast storage on top, which it does not. So it is as advertised. There you go. However, as long as you don't have to take up a lot of footprint with your laptop, that helps.
Light rum.
Mm-hmm.
And it also calls for 1.5 ounces of vodka. Now, I'm only doing the vodka because it's what the book said, and I want to see what it tastes like from the book. But you could do both parts of light rum.
And
you don't have to use vodka for
And you would just end up with 3 ounces of light rum.
Exactly.
You could also use an amber rum to give it a little bit of flavor. You could use tequila if you happen to like mixing rum and tequila. We do around these parts. That tends to work really nicely.
So, 1.5 ounces vodka. I'm using rhodium from Rhode Island Distilling. Okay. And
excellent product.
A dash of triple sec.
Literally, the only triple we have right now is Grand Marnier.
Wow. That cork is stuck.
You got to be careful with Marnier because, yes, it's a liqueur. Yes, it gets sticky. Yes, it starts seizing up the cork. And the cork is actually cork. So it will break on you. This is why you should really be cleaning that like every 3rd time.
You know, it says a 1/2 ounce rock candy syrup.
This is a dash of rock candy syrup.
A dash of rock candy syrup.
Did you actually get the
I
syrup?
did not. I guess since I just said I want to make it according to the instructions, I guess I should get it.
Okay.
Hold on.
There we go. Amber bottle. Actually, it's not an amber bottle.
I know.
You know, it's a shorty bottle. I know what the syrup is. It's literally gum syrup because I bothered to make the syrup with the gum arabic. What a pain. What a mess. But I'm using it because I made it, right? Heck, but a lot of fun. It's fun to make a 19th century bar tool. Bar syrup. Gum. The gum itself is actually delivering a lot of sediment. A dash of gum.
Gosh, that's funny.
You might be saying to yourself, why do you need to adulterate this simple syrup? I don't know. Talk to Jerry Thomas. It was a thing back in the day. It gave it a little bit more texture in the mouth. That kind of thing.
Here we go. All right. And 2 ounces of pineapple juice. All right, you can. Oh, and then it calls for. Oh, this is the one that has the juice of a lime.
Ah, juice of a lime. You might see that in a lot of classic formulas. I think even the Trader Rick Mai Tai calls for juice of a lime, and you think, well, how much is that? Some limes are like this. Some limes are like this. If you have a softball-sized lime, don't use all that juice.
1/4 ounce lemon juice.
1/4 ounce lemon juice.
And the juice of 1 lime. I'm going to say 1 ounce.
I'm calling that 1 ounce.
Yeah.
Now, she actually has a 1.5 ounce measure there, but she doesn't want to turn it over to expose the 1 ounce measure lest we get the bottle sticky, which is wise.
Ice, baby.
Baby, you got that ice. I'll have more mix.
All right.
Oh.
Flame.
Why don't you hand it to me?
All right. If you would, please blend.
I'll be glad to.
Thank you.
This is sometimes known as a flash blend. We're using that shake machine, which you will find at Trader Rick's.
Yeah, Eric, you could totally do both parts of rum.
Sure. Be perfectly fine.
I will run it down.
About 5 seconds.
I gotta catch up. Hello, Jim. Good to see you.
Hey.
And hello, Peter.
From Sal's Pizza. Hey.
Getting through advances, we just made pineapple ham this evening.
Oh.
Hey. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
San Francisco.
Okay. This wants you to use a tall
Open your Golden Gate.
If I recall correctly.
Wants you to what?
A tall glass or a hollowed out pineapple.
Don't we have a pineapple mug?
We
over
do.
There somewhere?
I do. I could do that, but it wants a tall glass.
Okay. Well, it says or pineapple. I say use a pineapple. Nudge.
Weren't you going to use a pineapple?
No, I was not.
Okay, fine. He wants me to use a pineapple.
We have these fun mugs.
I know.
We're in the Tiki, I just think. So, use them if you got them, is what they say.
Only slightly dusty.
Another vote for rum. Definitely.
Another vote for rum. I vote for rum.
I vote for rum. Rum is versatile for many things.
See why it called for a tall glass.
Yes. But you can get a few more cubes out of there, or do you want a refill?
I'll refill.
I'll take a refill. Okay.
Okay. Now I need a straw.
Mm-hmm. We have
green straw.
One of the green straws, yeah.
Ah, it's sticking to me because I'm sticky from the sugar.
Because I'm sticky.
Mmm.
What are you drinking?
Cheers. Pinot Pepe. Mmm.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
I will try the Pinot. I'm not sure I've ever tried the Pinot. This comes from the
Pacifica House
Pacifica
Hawaii
House.
Cookbook.
It's good and rummy.
Mm-hmm.
That's one where
it's good and rummy.
You taste it. It's a light rum, so it has
a
bit of a sting. So you're like, yeah, there's a bunch of booze in here.
I'm going to add some bitters.
That's seldom a bad idea, and I find with these drinks where you have several things going on, several juices, a little bitter tempers out a little bit and really does exactly what bitters are supposed to do. Take off the sweet edge. Add some dimension. Add like a lot of aromatics.
I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. But...
This is just all concentrated aromatics, which makes it like a liquid spice mix in baking.
Oh, arrow bite you to the pineapple mugs. Yay!
Oh, excellent. Excellent. I believe what you're holding is literally an Orchids of Hawaii mug.
Mm-hmm.
And you can buy this now from Dynasty Wholesale, and you'll say, gee, it's like the same mug, but the definition is a little soft. I think it's the same molds from 50 years ago, so they're getting a little soft in there. But the original on this is actually pretty detailed.
They're pretty easy to find. Errol found them, so
they're not that hard on the second.
Not that Errol can't find things that are hard to find. I didn't mean that.
In the 60s and 70s, Orchids was
not incredibly rare.
Orchids was Dynasty Wholesale for all intents and purposes.
Dean says, "Rum for president."
Rum, 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 rum. So
it's like people say around election time. The cocktail party.
Cocktail party. A wild party.
Oh. Should I rinse this?
If you would.
Okay.
That'd be awesome.
And then I will talk about my snack mix.
I will defend your drink against all comers.
I'm sure you will.
I totally forgot to bring a water out here. I better go and do that myself. Where can I find something to wet the whistle? Let's see here. Oh yeah, this pineapple is great. It's a lot of fun. I think that this is not going to say, oh, it does say Orchids of Hawaii R15, made in Taiwan, which is interesting. A lot of these originally would have said made in Japan, and the Otagiri mugs were definitely made in Japan. Then over time, it got cheaper to make them elsewhere. And then everything moved around because that's how it goes.
Clean.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
So nice. Okay, we'll reinstall.
Okay, so the snack mix.
Snack mix, yeah.
Oh, it is slightly bikini bottom. Okay, this is also from a vintage cookbook. I could go find it. I don't remember what it's called.
You've been away from the desk for.
But I adapted this one from a recipe that was called Captain Cook's Crunchies.
I'll say that a few times fast.
And they wanted you to put it in the oven and all that stuff. And like, it doesn't help it. You know,
no.
All you do is combine 1 part cheese croutons, 1 part chow mein noodles, and 1 part French fried onions. That's it.
And that's it.
That's all you do.
No, there's you don't put
it's
any.
Addictive.
There's no butter and Worcestershire going in there like with Chex Mix.
No.
Okay. So what is the oven for?
Hi,
nothing.
Keith.
That would do nothing whatsoever. And was this intended to have those thin noodles, those cylindrical noodles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I didn't. When I went to the store today, they didn't have the chow mein noodles, so I substituted wonton strips. Doesn't matter. Same effect.
Same old.
Same effect.
Wheat paste. That's it.
It is good.
They're pretty good.
It is surprisingly addictive.
Surprisingly not brackish. I was thinking the sodium on this is off the charts. When you look at the package of each of these, it's like, it's actually kind of low. Surprisingly. Even the onions, which should be really, really salty. So that's fun. Well, you know what? I've got a superfluous item here because I've got nothing going into it. I'm going to go wash this off too.
Okay.
I will be back.
I'm trying to think if is there anything we need as long as you're going.
Well, true.
Maybe get that off the floor.
Say now or forever hold your peace.
I know. Oh, thank you, Keith. So, yeah, okay. So what else can I tell you? Yeah, that recipe is just from some old pamphlet, but it called for like way more croutons than the rest of the stuff, and I find one part of each is perfection. It's super cheap and super easy to make, two of my favorite things. Oh, Keith, it's so sweet. Thank you. So what is everyone drinking this evening? I know Lisa's got wine. What does everyone else have? Inquiring minds want to know. Let's see. All right. Well, I will wait to hear what you are all drinking. Doesn't have to have alcohol. I thought about doing a mocktail and then I ran out of time, but we'll see if we can get to that. Cheap and easy sounds like a good time. It is a good time. I like any recipe that comes together in 30 seconds or less. Oh, there he is. I have nowhere to put that. I literally have no place to put that. Thank you, though.
We'll put it on the corner there. We'll make some room underneath.
Oh my gosh, more stuff on the bar.
More stuff on the bar.
Thank you.
We'll make some room by removing some of these nip bottles. One of these days, perhaps I'll simply use one of these. Got a nip size of cockspur. That's a nice thing to have. Brindley Gold Mango. Oh, I'm going to try that.
More stuff on the bar.
Let's drop these back here like so.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, the Honey mug, Lisa. Yes, yeah.
I like specialty.
Oh, Peter's having Chianti.
Of course. I like the specialty bourbons and or other liqueurs that are coming from your local distillery. Isn't that cool?
Salted caramel bourbon from our local. Ooh, that sounds good.
Good sound.
And Keith is having Smirnoff 100 degrees with a shot of orange juice with an umbrella, of course.
What else?
Of course.
I forgot the umbrellas.
Oh,
cran
palm tea. That sounds good, though, Julie.
So many things to remember. I tell you.
Cran palm tea. That sounds really good.
Back here.
Okay, Michael's having white wine sangria. Sounds great. Pinot Grigio. Okay, Alan's having Pinot Grigio and a 3-cherry Magoo for Elizabeth. All right. I love it. Oh, drinking diet iced tea. That's okay. Diet iced tea is good. Perfectly well to drink anything you like here.
Hi.
Did you find something?
I did find something. And I think it needs a rinse.
Uh-oh. You just spiked your cocktail. I think you might be right. I just saw that, Keith. Oh, knee replacement surgery. How did it go, Dean? Are you okay? Oh, some classic daiquiris. Ooh, in my new Trader Vic's. Oh, the coupes. I love those. We need to get those coupes. The Trader Vic's coupes. Remember we were saying? We really should pick those up. We really should pick those up. Oh, M&M's. Ooh, drinking champagne. Well, that's even better, Lisa. Now, Glendora loves some champagne.
He does love some champagne.
Any wine product is fine with her.
Tell you.
Why did the deer get braces, Keith?
It's a knockout joke, and here it comes.
Okay, is this a dad joke? Why did
if it is, I'll use it on Saturday. But anyway,
we're waiting to find out, Keith. Why did the deer get braces?
In the meantime, I happen to have a fine mug here, which probably doesn't say too much on it besides Japan, and which probably makes it an Otagiri mug. And it doesn't say, it does say on the bottom.
Oh, the 3-cherry Magoo sounds good.
It does say Hawaii Kai. I decided to, when we were digging into some classics from back in the canon, and I said, here's a book I don't use too often because sometimes we don't have all of these ingredients, but the Hawaii Kai cookbook.
Yeah, I think you need to hold that higher.
1970. This is Rana and Gene Schindler. I believe they were the owners. And I don't know if they were original owners, but probably, considering when the Kai first went into place. That was located on Broadway next to the Winter Garden Theater. Don't look for it now, folks. It's long gone. Just like in Spinal Tap. Don't look for it. It's not there anymore. Right now, I believe the actual footprint is currently being occupied by an Applebee's.
Oh,
which,
because she had buck teeth.
There's something.
All right. Hold on. Where'd my thingy go?
Gotcha.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, wait a minute. But a buck is a male deer, and the deer is a female deer. And okay,
She had buck teeth.
I'm trying to. I can't figure that one out, but I'll get there eventually. Don't worry about that.
She had buck teeth.
Ha 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 ha. Anyway, fine. So the Hawaii Kai Cookbook has all sorts of fun stuff from the restaurant. If you could attend the place, I never went myself. They went out, about 1990. I think one of the last things that happened in Hawaii Kai was shooting a scene for Goodfellas. And by that point, the place was like ready to go. So it was kind of vacant and ready for a film crew to go in there and do. But that whole opening sequence where they're going through the back of the restaurant, through the kitchen, that business was Hawaii Kai. So let's see here. Great tracking shot. I took a look. A lot of these involve apricot juice. That's like their deadly weapon there.
Which I couldn't find. At all.
I mean, you used to be able to find one particular brand, which I haven't seen it in the market in a while, so maybe they were having supply line issues. Jeez. Or maybe they're off, I don't know. But there was another brand we have to take a look for and see if I can find. Anyway, I found a bunch of things in here which do not involve it, so I thought, good.
Wait, they're making a Spinal Tap too?
Ah!
What?
Hello.
I love Spinal Tap.
Uh-oh, we just lost R.J. Parnell. How can they do it?
It's true.
Have to get their 15th drummer. Anyway, do we have a plastic flower around here somewhere?
I can get one, but it's plastic-free day. Okay.
You know what? I'm just going to have to go with some plastic because we don't have any genuine orchids. But there's another secret in it.
There's mint.
Colorful flower. I will garnish with both.
I'll get you a flower.
Okay, that's a little crunchy, but so the Hawaii Kai treasure. Good grief, very crowded back here. It stole my heart. It's calling itself a reward all its own. So let's actually start that reward with 2 ounces of lime juice. I'll start assembling right here. Thank you. Well, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Do you want it on like a curl or something?
What's that?
Maybe make it sink less into your mug.
Can that be done?
I don't know. Let's find out.
This is pretty stiff. That might be able to be done. Sure.
Yep.
I would appreciate that.
So
I'm going to reach behind you for the lime, which is in which one?
This one.
This one. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is a perfect 1 1/4, so I'm going
to
do most of that. Yeah.
There you go. I have a delightful garnish for you.
A delightful garnish. 2 ounces of lime, pretty heavy pour to start with, but there's a lot of juices and such happening in there. Next, I have to keep this open.
Here, didn't I write it down?
Oh, you did. This is true. I was going from the book. I want to do the reading from, but I don't really need to.
All right, here.
We do have it right here. All right. Oh, you got these in different order there. So 1 ounce of grapefruit juice, if you could.
I can.
I can.
Gotta catch up over. Oh, hi, Marty. Thank you.
Hey there.
Lisa says, I'm cheap, Paul. I just gasped. What I miss?
Oh,
Devin.
I'm moving things around and this starts to take a
moment.
I'm
no.
like,
I'm glad I didn't see that.
Can't just go to Hawaii Kai and get another one, folks.
Hi, Amy.
Although they turn up in the secondary market from time to time, particularly in this area. It was a local restaurant.
Oh, good luck, Jessica.
Yep. Oh.
Yes.
Yep.
Sending all good luck.
Definitely crossing those. Thank you. This is brilliant. I will take it.
It's stuck to my finger.
It's stuck to my finger. Oh, man. I tell you. The hazards of the occupation. I'll be glad to hand that to you. And I'll continue with what else is going on inside this thing. 1.5 ounces of the light rum. You've got that shot over there. And the light, which you have. 1.5 ounces light is a pretty good place to start. A lot of these toll drinks have that. And you know what? The light rum tended to be cheaper back in the day. That doesn't mean that light rum is cheap particularly.
Oh, I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
You know, that was just...
Yeah.
Love
Miss
letter.
Michael, I love that movie.
Love letter to Sharon Tate and a love letter to Hollywood.
A stein full of whiskey sour, exactly.
Simultaneously.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I'm telling you. I stilled my heart for a second. Thank you.
I'm glad I didn't see that.
Okay, the actual formula calls for something called green Curacao. I believe there used to be a green Curacao. I believe it's been off the market for 50 years.
No, someone started making it again. Like
there is a green Curacao.
Well, I don't know if you can still get it. I'm going to see.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we have blue.
We have blue. I'm thinking to myself, there's no green Curacao. There never was a green Curacao. Someone's pulling my leg.
Someone did start making it again. Hold on.
Bull. So, anyway.
Okay, well, they've got the orange.
The orange, the blue.
Clear, the blue.
I've also heard of red Curacao. It's like, when the hell did that stop being made? You see some of these ingredients in old drink formulas and you go scratch the head, scratch the head. Huh? Yeah.
Brand.
We never get there.
Okay. Our liqueurs. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Waiting.
They've got tamarind.
Tamarind liqueur. Ooh, that sounds like fun. They're calling it tamarind.
The blue. The original.
The genuine Curacao and then the genuine blue Curacao.
Someone started making green Curacao.
Okay. I actually don't know how much of this I'm using, so if you could pop back on that for a second, I'd appreciate that. Okay.
Half ounce.
Half ounce green Curacao. Okay. And I have a perfect half ounce measure right here.
Devin's asking if we tried freezer section crab rangoons. Yeah, you're gonna want to cook them. Make sure they're really fried. However you're cooking them, yeah, you just don't want them to be soggy.
Don't be soggy.
But we got some that recently that were pretty good.
You could definitely put those on a baking sheet, and that should work fine. And if you happen
you can just fry them.
You happen to have one. If you have a deep fryer, sure. If you happen to have one of those air fryers, that is pretty ideal.
Yeah.
Okay, half ounce of orgeat. Happen to have orgeat right over here. Keep it in this fridge. Just made it recently. It's pretty full. Okay.
Oh, do you have cream?
I do not have the cream. It's going to go get it. You've been up a lot.
I don't mind.
Okay, half ounce of honey mix. It actually calls for honey. Now, the thing about using honey in any of these drinks is if you take your jar of honey and take a blorp and put it in here, it's just going to sink to the bottom and solidify because it's cold. And it will sit there, and no amount of shaking is going to incorporate that. So what do? You take 1 part honey, 1 part water. You put them in your measuring cup that's microwave safe, and you microwave them for something like 20 seconds. It gets a little warm, stir to combine, and you get a very fluid honey.
Okay, it was that
tastes every bit as good.
Senior Curacao.
Senior Curacao does do a green.
You can buy now this is in euros.
Yeah, 18 euros 30.
But
bizarre. You
can buy it. I knew I was not hallucinating.
I didn't think you were bugging.
Yeah.
But I had not heard of the green.
Oh, okay. Devin's saying, yeah, they claim to be the same as takeout. They probably are actually the same as takeout.
Potentially.
Just make sure they get really
Unless
crispy.
Your local place has like a guy behind the bar there, a guy behind the curtain who's making them. And we knew a place that started making them because one of the busboys did know. And they were very good. They were a little different. They're very fresh.
Hi, David. By the way, hi, David.
Yep.
David says pecans fried and rum with a little brown sugar. Yum.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds amazing.
Back to our recipe, please. Thank you. All right, so I got the honey mix, and the rest of it is in there except for I need half ounce of light cream. Now, I don't have any light cream on hand. I'm probably just going to be using the almond milk, and that will be just fine. So, be right back.
Oh gosh. I thought we had everything we needed out here this evening. Wrong. But this is the thing about tiki drinks. The list of ingredients is without end for some of these. Oh, a steinful of egg white. Jeez. Oh, cashew milk. Yeah, cashew milk's good. I like almond milk, cashew milk. We even get coconut milk sometimes. This is really hitting the spot, by the way. The Pinot Pepe. There's no inya over the N. It's just Pinot, not Pinot.
Not Pinot. Okay, and in you go.
All right.
I was not about to try to transport that tiny little cup
Smart.
totally full to the rim behind the bar and then pour.
Smart.
Smart guy. So.
Smart. Ellen's still waiting. Ellen is still waiting.
I tell you.
Ellen been doing a lot of waiting lately.
She continues to. She will. She will. But it's like a whole series.
Oh my gosh. Jamie says, seniors, yep, they have green, blue, coffee, raisin, and chocolate.
Raisin?
I remember, didn't they have a red one?
Wow.
Oh, Amy says, may I recommend the Aldi's Crab Rangoon dip?
From Aldi's. Well, Aldi does a lot of pre-prep stuff. That's their stock and trade.
Great.
Okay, I'm giving this a stir. One thing about using the milk with all of that citrus is that it tends to separate a bit.
Ooh.
We're going to need to buzz this up a bit. Going for the ice.
The street corn dip sounds good, too. We got to get to Aldi's. I went in there one time and I was like, but I've only ever been in the once. And now I keep hearing about great products. So I got to check it out again.
Now.
Definitely need to go in there.
Once again, using the Hamilton Beach. This is the shake maker. And this is exactly what Trader Vic's uses, so I'm using it. About 5 seconds worth, gets it nice and frothy. I am going to remove my stir portion because this tends to drip.
So Mom said, Ellen's still waiting. You know, Ellen Waits is the name of our short film that we're producing. And I did not know when I started producing a film that my life would become 100% about purchasing insurance.
Pricing and purchasing.
If you're an insurance broker out there.
Do you know something we don't?
Because I think we did find a policy today which is ridiculously overpriced, but
not as ridiculously
overpriced as some of the other ones.
First 3 policies we were looking at. And once I talked to the broker in detail, he's like, you actually don't need that coverage if that's why you're getting this. I thought that I should have been talking to you in the first place.
Why else would I be getting it?
Why else would I be getting it? Well, why would I be getting it? It's like you need the casualty without the damage because that's already being covered by another policy. I think you want to be covered by something. But if it's already covered and you're getting it again, it's essentially redundant, although what they call in the business, excess. And I think, I don't need to pay for excess. I need straight up coverage.
That's not good optics.
No.
To call your insurance policy excess.
That's excessive.
Like, well, then it sounds like I have too much insurance, right?
This doesn't call for it, but I'm putting a sprig of mint in because we happen to have lots of mint. Look at that. I mean, this is really growing like gangbusters. There's some out there that was huge.
Ooh, Lisa likes to use almond milk, cashew milk, and oat milk for my protein shakes. Ooh. Michael says there should be a Padre Pio cocktail. If you drink enough, you get stigmata.
No, that's a reference right there. Okay, now let me see if I can actually do this properly.
Are you saying I didn't do it properly?
Oh, no, you did this nicely. Let me see if I can get this in here.
That's
giving me trouble.
I see what you're doing.
So I'm just going to do that.
Is that
right
an earring?
there. Yes, it is. This actually calls for a pearl.
He grabbed one of my earrings.
Yep. And guess what? I didn't have a stray pearl kicking
to use as a garnish.
I think they call for like a 5mm pearl or an 8mm pearl or something like that. This looks like a nice 8mm pearl.
It's like CoverGirl.
I'm actually spearing it right on there. Placing
Rusty's
in.
pearl.
So your little secret with this drink is you get a pearl. That was the gimmick with this one. So I decided I got to have the gimmick. You got to have a gimmick. If you want to make a drink, I need that with a straw. Which is right here. Here we go. And this specifically states to insert a candy striped straw. We have some candy striped straws. What do you know? These are Christmassy. It'll be Christmas soon enough. Don't tell her that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, William's an insurance broker.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, life insurance. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, my life has become about buying general liability and commercial auto.
I'd be glad to talk to you about stuff like
errors and omissions. What else?
All of you out there who are like, oh, well, what's the difference between this and that?
Inland Marine.
Inland Marine, that's a fun.
Inland Marine.
All of you out there are like, you mean like take your boat on the Mississippi River or something? No, that's not what that means. It's really bizarre why that is the way it is. Inland Marine means shipping. It's like you take it off the boat, you put it on a truck.
Inland Marine means trucking.
Take it off the boat, take the container off and put it onto a flatbed, and you start driving it around. This Inland Marine. That's what you're doing. But that also covers a lot of stuff like rental equipment is Inland Marine. Weird.
Eric says, well, personally, I like the term premium, which I take to mean we care more when you pay more.
If you pay more, everything comes at a premium, right?
Exactly.
Anyway, give us a try.
Cheers. Oh, I thought you were toasting me.
I was toasting you because we're still going, but this is the Hawaii Kai Treasure.
It's delicious.
Pressure comes with the pearl. And you know, blending was a good idea because I was saying to myself, if you take half an ounce of the cream and you toss it in with all of that citrus, that's going to curdle. So you should flash blend that fast.
Oh, thank you, William. Oh yeah, hemp milk. I've seen that. I haven't tried it.
And it's only got like ounce and a half of the light rum, so it's actually not as sacco as a drink in something this size might be.
I just hope you'll remove the pearl before you toss your garnish.
Don't touch the garnish without cleaning
toss my
things
earring,
off.
please.
I understand it is anti-plastic day, but guess what? That's a plastic flower.
It's not a one-time use.
And guess what? This is
all the sirens.
Oh, hello. This is not going to get tossed until it completely falls apart. But in the meantime, this will get used like dozens of times. It's a fun little thing. If I had actual orchids, I'd just stick one right in there. Edible flowers, hey, that's fun. There you go. So, marvelous.
We don't have fancy things like that here in downtown.
We could. There are places, you've gotten them before.
I've gotten them at Whole Foods, but in the city. Mm-hmm. We also don't have Whole Foods.
Yeah, we don't have a Whole Foods.
We don't have Whole Foods.
We don't have a Trader Joe. We don't have a Whole Foods.
I feel like Hannaford's might have edible flowers.
Worth checking. They're a little fancy schmancy.
Oh my gosh, all the sirens.
Oh yeah.
Such a nice sound in the Tiki bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who's been overindulging in the Tiki bar? Call the cops.
Call a cop.
So almond, cashew, and oat milk. Oh, there's a vote for that.
Yep.
And the hemp milk. Okay. I've not tried the hemp milk. That sounds like something else, but honestly, it's just another plant-based milk. We've been using the almond successfully for years, and then there's one of the manufacturers, I think, Diamond. I will name check them just because there is no commercial consideration. Blue Diamond makes an almond coconut, and that's actually pretty killer.
I think more than one.
I think more than one does. That's good. That's a pretty killer app right there. I remember finding a bar that one of the bars that we knew that did the tropicals, and they said that for their milk products they were using the almond coconut.
I got a couple of Gettysburg, ma'am. I wish we had a Whole Foods close by. I know. I know. I sometimes go when I'm in the city, but again, then you buy it, and you have to carry it around with you. So. Yeah, that's the thing. So if it's the end of the day, you're about to get on a train, fine, you put it in your bag. Lisa says, I love how back in the day they would garnish tiki drinks with extravagant garnishes. Love it. There's an episode of Rhoda where it's a sitcom, so they're in like turmoil. Brenda, her sister, is dating a guy, and Rhoda's positive he's married, but they're double dating with him. And they go to this tiki bar in New Jersey, or tiki restaurant, and every drink they get is like completely over the top garnish.
Everything is a bowl.
Yeah,
everything has a ton of ice.
Well, like it'll be a coconut or a pineapple, but then it'll have like 18 straws sticking out of it, or like flowers overflowing, and it's like the more stressful the situation gets, like the bigger the drinks
more
get.
elaborate,
it's hilarious.
moronic the drinks get.
It's hilarious.
It's amazing. It's really, really
Hello,
cool.
Ryan. Oh, geez. Eric says, I live near the fire department and the police department. Not a day goes by without hearing sirens. I know. We're like that. We're 1 mile from the fire department. Well, actually, we're kind of between two fire departments. We're between the Middletown Fire Department this way, and then the New Hampton Fire Department that way. And the New Hampton one is fun because then the sirens go off in the middle of the night, because it's one that has like an actual siren that goes off.
I think it's a volunteer fire department.
Yeah, and
if something happens, the siren goes off until somebody responds and sets things in motion. So you might hear that for a while.
Oh, Ryan says whenever we hear sirens, the coyotes like to sing along. Oh my gosh. When we had dogs next door, it would be like that.
Oh yeah. Hilarious. I'm thinking that I need a few more cubes in here.
Oh.
I'm going to carefully.
Gettysburg Ham, would you like an episode of Frozen Drinks? We could do that.
Oh boy.
I'm going to write that down on the same. I'm taking notes for suggestions. I've got Michael's suggestion for gin and sparkling lemonade. I'm going to put Gettysburg, ma'am. Frozen
drinks. I mean, we're doing our best here with these tall things full of ice using the old blending device. This is fun. I think this is like the great app behind the bar for a drink like this, because it's just like buzz it up, and you can do You know, 4 or 5 drinks at once. Hey, Phil.
Oh, Errol isn't here tonight, but he loves going to Whole Foods. He can stay in that store forever. Oh my gosh!
Get him out of there.
All right, it's on the list. Gettysburg.
Okay.
I decided to actually start making a list this evening. So
we know.
Oh, Girl Drink Drunk is the best, Ryan. The best. I love Girl Drink Drunk. Oh, Michael, that's Paul's favorite. There's a holdup in the Bronx. Brooklyn's broken out of ice. There's a traffic jam in Harlem that's backed up to Jackson Heights.
There's a scout troop short a child.
Cruise ships doing idle while. Car 54, where are you?
Boom. Sing the whole thing. I haven't seen the show in a while. None of us saw the show in its original broadcast. No.
I don't think we were born.
No, but it has been running reruns for some
Communication Emergency, a piece for police, fire sirens, and coyote howls. I love it.
Who was that? Who am I thinking of there?
Ooh.
Was that George Crumb composed that one? I think so. Was that?
Okay, Elizabeth got a new vintage blender.
Morton Subotnick, maybe? One of those things, yeah. Oh, excellent.
Nice.
We don't have a vintage blender out here. It's by the other
father's.
Yeah,
I thought about bringing it out here tonight, but we'll do it next week.
Let's actually plan very specifically and bust everything else out of here because, boy, we got no footprint. Clear off the bar there, then we'd have some space for all of these devices. Big fun.
Yeah.
I thought I had most things. I knew I was missing some things, and then I realized, yeah, you're missing 4 or 5 things. That's always the case. Obviously, behind the stick at Hawaii Kai itself, back in the day, they would have had all this stuff laid out. Bang, 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 like any professional bar. No one was going in search of heavy cream. It was just right there. Mm-hmm. So hopefully inside some ice. So.
I love Car 54.
It's a fun one. Oh. Didn't we just hear Joe E. Ross singing like Try a Little Tenderness or something like that? He made an album. I think it was Roulette Records.
Was it Try a Little Tenderness?
I'm trying to remember what song it was.
It was. I'm going to find out. Hold on.
You can check Mike Shelley. That's right.
Was it Mike Shelley or Rex?
It was Rex. You're right.
It was Rex.
Okay,
hold on. I got. Oh, it's
it's Thing.
Thing. Okay.
What do you know?
Hold on. How do I find the different DJs' pages?
Okay, scroll all the way up.
Okay.
And go to programming, and then go to schedule. There you go. Now you can take yourself to Saturdays, and you'll find Fool's Paradise.
Okay, hold on.
Boom.
But it was from last week, though.
It was last Saturday. So if you find that show.
All right, hold the. No, come on.
Stop it. May 21st.
Yep.
Fred Blassie Memorial Playlist, and you go about halfway through, you're going to find a little bit of soul with Mr. Joe E. Ross.
There he is. Are You Lonesome Tonight?
Was it. That's it. Roulette
Records. It was weird and fabulous. I loved it.
He has a singing voice, believe it or not.
Certainly better than Return of the Swallows by Belch from the album Classical Gas. I'm sure of that.
Big fun.
Oh, Al Lewis. Yeah.
It's always kind of classic.
Yes, Gettysburg Man.
It's kind of classic when your vampire is like from Brooklyn. And he sounds like it too. Hey, Hyman. Yes, Grandpa. Can't think of Fred Gwynne without thinking, yep, sometimes dead's better.
I know.
A different different role entirely.
Yeah.
A slightly different and slightly differently cadaverous role. But there you go. All kinds of fun.
Sometimes dead's better.
The classics of the classics. I had my own Car 54 moment when I was shooting the film last year as a background, and they paired me up with a guy who was easily 6'2". So we get this big height difference going on. I mean, I was not exactly like, Joey Ross kind of short or stocky, but it worked. It was pretty funny. So
I wish we could post the picture.
Yeah, can't do that yet. One of these days.
In their 1970s police uniforms.
They're supposed to be dressed up as a 40s cop.
I don't even know.
Change era.
If the film's not released yet, I'm not sure you can post on social.
You're restricted from it, and I could spend a lot of time figuring it out, or I could just assume no and just go with it. Because one of these days this is available, and we'll be able to tell you to go take a look. We're both featured in.
I never saw Forever Night.
Oh, no.
I did. It depends on when it's from, because
Yeah.
there were some eras where I wasn't watching much TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Peter always wanted to go to Al
Oh,
Lewis's
yeah.
restaurant. Did we ever go there?
We never went to Grandpa's. We were by there many
I
times.
feel like,
It's on Bleecker
Did
Street, I
I?
believe. Is it on Bleecker?
did I ever go there?
It was
Before
by
I
there-
knew you.
I was by there once with a friend who actually, Al was out there just having a plate of pasta, and my friend was talking to him, and he was just not really paying that much attention to my friend. He was like, hey, you're the guy! Yeah, it's like, yeah, he was the guy, all right. He was just trying to enjoy a little dinner. You know?
Oh, Marty says my dad worked on Al Lewis's restaurant phone. Wow! Okay. 2 degrees of separation
I
from
tell
Al
you.
Lewis.
Grandpa's, it was. It had a
Yeah.
caricature of him in costume on the sign, as I recall. It was there for years. So, it's pretty fun.
Oh, Lisa says, I got on a kick listening to Annie Ross when she was with Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross.
Oh, now you're talking. Well, that's...
Grandpa's, I think he was beside an adult store. Really?
I think it was one of those fetish type stores, as a matter of fact. Not
Okay,
a...
all right. Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Not an adult video type place. Or it might have been across the street from that. I'm trying to remember what was on that block exactly. A couple of good record stores. A couple of overpriced record stores. Although one of them...
Isn't one of them still open, though, you said?
One of them moved. It was literally Bleecker
Okay.
Street Records, then it moved around the corner. It was no longer on Bleecker Street. As I recall, the last time I was in there, they had what I was looking for. Price was okay. And I was glad to support them. They actually had a good selection. But I believe they're gone from where they are now, too. So,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
I'm just reading Eric and Ryan's comments. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I'm still wondering about the Symphony for Sirens and Coyote.
That's hilarious.
Morton Feldman. I think it was Morton Feldman, actually.
Grandpa's
Not Symphonic.
buy some fun toys. Jeez.
Yeah, around the corner from there
yeah.
was the Pink Pussycat.
Pink Pussycat.
Or was it just
That was
across
on
the
West
street?
4th, right?
Yeah, I think that was West
Yeah.
4th. Pink
Well, it might
Pussycat
still
was
be there.
There's still a couple of fetish stores on the avenue. That would be 7th Avenue, I think.
On the avenue.
Boom, boom.
7th Avenue.
Doesn't scan that well, but what the heck, That means that I probably can't get sued.
Doesn't have the same zavoo.
Doesn't have the zing. Yeah, doesn't have the zavoo. You're absolutely
Zavoo.
right. Yeah. Still enjoying the Hawaii Kai treasure, and yep, every single one comes complete with a pearl. Isn't that fun?
I'm going to be out of earrings.
Well, if I start serving them here, yes. I can't do it. I'm not going to give away your earrings. I can go get some pearls.
You'll be like, you need to turn that garnish in at the end of the night.
Please, could you? Yeah, I'm going to need the umbrella. Anyway.
Oh, wait, Marty says, okay, so the conversation, Marty's picking up on this on Facebook, on the YouTube conversation about Forever Night. Was on the original Sci-Fi channel before it became Sci-Fi. We have all 3 seasons on DVD. Okay, Marty.
Okay.
YouTube is having a discussion about this.
Drop in. Talk to them about that. Go over to YouTube
Oh,
as
yes.
well.
Gettysburg, man. We both lived in New York City in the 90s. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
A early period there, it was still pretty hairy from the 70s, 80s. Yeah. The city went bankrupt in 1975, famously. It was a long time before it was starting to pay for services again and clean up graffiti on the subways.
Michael says, here's how my brain works. You talk about 1970s police costumes, and the first thing that comes to my mind is Get Christy Love. Eric says, the series was based on a movie of the same name that starred Rick Springfield.
Hilarious. By the way,
Glad we're keeping it classic.
I managed to actually grab a few other pieces of garnish. We're talking about outrageous garnishes for your drinks. And I'm again forgetting to apply the actual garnish I happen to have, the mini paper parasol. So let's put the parasol in, Paul.
We'll reuse it. We stick them in our ceiling.
Made a drink out there at the other bar fairly recently. I had everything. I had the parasol. I forgot the parasol. Ooh.
Yes, Alex's place. It was not far from the Knitting Factory, Peter.
Not particularly, no.
It was not far.
It was Knitting Factory was just
Hi, Joe.
Houston Street by. Well, yeah, it was a pretty good walk, but it was just crank up Houston Street and then go up to Bleecker.
Joe says, I seem to recall the restaurant's drink special was a Harvey Wallbanger.
That
makes perfect sense to me.
That would be perfectly acceptable.
Speaking of drink specials, my drink's Borkin.
Growing Lewis? The Harvey Wallbanger, I believe, was featured also at an area restaurant that was very close to these places we were talking about, called Polyesters.
Oh, Polyesters.
Polyesters was the name Polly and the name Esther. It's a joke, it's a gag based on the fact that this was all 70s based. They had big disco theme. There was a lot of man-made fibers going on inside there. Well, we dropped in there a few times. It was kind of fun. It was all like very glittery and with like shiny wallpaper and whatever. It had a bit of a Studio 54 feel to it.
Well, my story about polyesters is I found out about polyesters before I knew that there were people out there who were into retro mid-century culture like me. So, I mean, I always kind of got it out of my system doing theater and whatever, and then I got a job at an archive that specialized in movie photos and memorabilia, and suddenly I met people who were like me, and everyone would get together after work and go to the film forum and see like 30s films, like binge on 30s films or whatever. And that was great, but that was kind of the first time I knew people who also were interested in vintage clothing and what have you.
Big fun.
Oh, Gettysburg, man, I'm still heartbroken over 21 closing. Anytime anything like that closes, it hurts my heart. That kind of classic.
A joint that has literally been around since Prohibition would literally have hit 100 years within that period.
Banana Dolphin. We need a banana. Not a banana, I would do it.
You learned how to make a banana dolphin.
That's
very true.
I did.
It's pretty straight up. Yeah. So still, again, enjoying the Hawaii Tai treasure for all of you who haven't actually tuned in, or all of you who have just recently tuned in. I'm trying to put as much outrageous garnish on this as possible. I think I'm pretty much achieving with flowers and mint and parasols. Oh my.
Oh, okay. Airy binge watch Sanctuary. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that does really sound like a John Waters character, doesn't it?
Polyester. Okay, so we have a friendly acquaintance, a friend. I guess we could say friend. A friend whose drag name is Esther Jen. Esther Jen.
Mm-hmm. That's a fun one.
We're friends.
Yes, we actually met. I think we met Esther at a place near the Barnabon and had a conversation.
Yeah. Well, he's we met him in his male. Yes, but
in the male persona,
he's an amazing person, and I like to think he's a friend. So, and his drag name is Esther Jen.
And with a handle like that, obviously, is hysterical. So there you go. And I was thinking about what else. I would call myself some degrees of separation from John Waters, but I've actually met him in person, and of course he was hilarious. I mean, he's a funny guy. And I also had the experience, which I've related in this very forum sometimes, and I might as well repeat it now, of being at when I was at the record store.
Oh, this is funny.
Going back 25 years, and
start my next drink.
Happened to know a guy who really resembled John Waters fairly strongly. And one day, his name was Frank, and I remember one day he steps into the store, and I see him, oh, hey, there he is. And after a while, I say to myself, wait, no, that's John Waters. Like, hilarious. So actually, I think I waited on John, as a matter of fact, and then like minutes later, in comes Frank. And I said, you're not going to believe this. I just mistook John Waters for you. And he said, some people actually do like to call the resemblance, but it usually works the other way. So it was just this hilarious damn thing. You know?
New York does have the best drag shows.
Well, it's a strong scene. It used to be featured in such areas as the meatpacking district, which like kind of implies several double entendres. But actually, they don't really pack meat there anymore. So
Polyesters was the name of a 70s throwback nightclub in Denver in the 90s. You know, I think it was a chain.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, because it was in New York, too. And we just,
Yeah.
It was kind of when I was like, wait a minute. There are people out here like me?
There are people who want this? I'm not the solitary weirdo.
I'm not the solitary weirdo?
I didn't what? I've certainly had the experience.
I really thought I was a solitary weirdo.
Had the experience many times in life of just feeling pretty alone with things. But, you know, you wait it out, keep looking around, you'll find the crowd. Back in the day, you really had to look. Today, you go to the internet, you'll find people. People are here. We're all here. We're all on the internet.
Oh, Julie says the actor who was in Forever Night,
Vin Davies.
Win Davies or Vin Davies? Win Davies?
Probably Win Davies.
Has been in lots of Stratford, Ontario stage productions. Okay. Well, that's a prestigious theater.
There's a credit right there.
Oh, Devin misses a New York drag scene. Oh.
You know, I bet you have a local drag scene that cuts its own. So.
All right, so
you need to
I'm out.
Give a rinse and check it out.
Hold on.
And you need to...
Was John Waters buying? Oh, there you go. You can answer that one while I rinse this out.
There are two things that I could answer. The first thing I can answer is with what he actually bought when I was at the counter. And I'll be honest with you, I don't remember. But I think there were, at that point in time, there were a lot of CDs coming out of these 50s vocalists. And he used to really like suck on that kind of stuff. He was really interested in that kind of material. So like classic, like 40s, 50s types of vocalists, 60s people, all the kitschy people, he was all over that, for sure. But there was also a story where the store actually, oh no, that's not a John Waters story. I'm sorry, I'm not going to tell that story.
I'm going to start mixing and then I'll catch you up later while Paul tells his story.
I ran out of story.
Why couldn't you tell it? Because
it wasn't a John Waters story.
Oh.
I told the John Waters story I knew, which wasn't much of a story, and then I was out of gas. Oh well.
Well,
I'm trying to remember like what else was what. We'd also pick up soundtracks too, because that was one of the specialties of the place. Also Broadway material. I don't know if he was big into Broadway stuff, but he was definitely into like the very flashy Hollywood kitsch stuff. And of course, there's John Waters' record collection. There's that whole CD of Christmas stuff that's like from his collection. A lot of names of which I can't actually say on the air right now. But you know, it's that lack of good.
Google it.
That lack of good taste they do come to expect out of Mr. Waters, and he delivers. He delivers. Let's be real. Divine actually cut more than one 12-inch single, and I remember seeing a few of those hanging on the wall. Divine's 12-inch. I'm trying to think of what else came around. Yeah, but there was just all these sorts of weirdo, obscuro vocalists or celebrities who cut a record kind of thing. That's his stock and trade too. So he certainly knew the joint. The joint was called Footlight. It's been gone a long time. Don't look for it. It's not there anymore. I'm saying this about, I could probably say this about 5 dozen things tonight. Don't look for it. It's not there anymore.
I'll catch you up on what I'm doing
when
he's done with his...
Yeah.
When he's done with his non-story.
My lack of story here, but I'm just saying that like anytime I start to think about what are these places we used to frequent, I do double take and say, oh yeah, that's not there. Don't look for it. It's not there anymore. It's a real shame. Some of these places.
Sucks.
When we come to a real hardcore classic like 21, that's a shame. When we come to a place like the Polynesian, much more recent vintage, that's gone out.
It still sucks.
It's still terrible. That was a really cool place. And, you know, they were really hot for a while. It was really hard to get in. And then the frenzy cooled down, and it was possible to just go there and enjoy a few rounds.
I need the passion fruit.
Coming your way.
So I am making something, another one from the Pacifica House Hawaii cookbook called Pearl Harbor Grog. And that called for 2 ounces of dark rum, a 1/2 ounce light rum.
1 ounce fresh lime juice. 1 ounce orange juice. 1 ounce pineapple juice. 1 ounce passion fruit nectar. Well, we are using the passion fruit syrup because we don't have the nectar.
Whatever.
I thought it called for some sugary stuff too. So, you know, if it calls for the nectar and sugary, use the syrup. It's going to taste just great.
I'm going to give it to you, and you can put it on the blender again.
Yes, there we go. You make sure that gets in there.
And if you got that reference, Paul's imitation there.
Only the classics, folks. Only the classics.
1 ounce lime juice. 1 ounce lemon juice.
Shoot, fella could have a good weekend in Dallas and all that stuff.
That was Las Vegas.
Yeah, the line had to be changed.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. You know what? I was about to remove this, but no, I'm going to very carefully take this over here.
Back to our comments here.
Reinsert our stir stick.
Okay. John Waters was obviously buying cha-cha heels. 12-inch dolls at his yellow. 2,
3, 4. There you go.
Oh, Devin. Oh, you gotta get off my button. Yeah. When the time is right, you will. Yeah, that Myers rum is super molasses forward. I know a lot of people really hate that, but I like it.
Well,
also, it's the only Jamaican rum that's easily available around here.
Although we do not buy it locally because it's outrageously priced. It's just absurd. So we typically, we happen to know people in the state of New Hampshire where you can find it for a very good price. And we usually just arrange things. Or perhaps we'll simply make a visit.
I'm trying to do this without...
I think that dated from Christmas when we were there last.
Yep.
So
believe
we
it or not, we still have a bottle we bought at Christmas.
A bottle we bought at Christmas. We weren't making a lot of rum drinks during the winter. A lot more brandy and all the brown goods. But
wow, it's like the perfect size.
It's like perfect.
For my double old-fashioned glass.
Do you happen to need some garnier?
I do. I need a mint sprig. I'm going to do a lime curl because I have it.
There you go, applying that.
So, Pearl Harbor Grog.
And I believe you will need a straw.
Thank you.
How about a bombilla? That's an excellent idea.
From Pacifica House, Hawaii Cookbook.
I'm interested to try this now. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Okay, speaking of rum, Monday I just started a bottle of vanilla extract with plantation dark rum and vanilla beans. Ooh, yum. That's going to be great. Mm-hmm. It's going to be amazing.
Let it sit for about 3 months. That sounds about
12-inch dolls. 12-inch dolls, that is.
Different kind of thing. Here's one good hint, because the vanilla extract... Okay, so you're vanilla extract or vanilla beans?
Well, we've done vanilla extract.
We have done both. And if you use the beans, they usually start extracting pretty quickly. If you use the extract, you know what I would do? Here's an interesting thing, is do that for about 2 weeks, give it a try. Another 2 weeks, give it a try. And then just keep sampling it on occasion. I don't say take a big draft of it, just take a little sniff. And right up to your 3 months and see how it improves over time.
She's doing vanilla.
Yeah.
She's not necessarily rum, like actual rummy vanilla.
Oh, the vanilla extract. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then don't do that.
It's going to be amazing.
You don't want to actually sample that because you need to use it in baking.
Hi, Henry.
Hey.
Oh, we have a Baron Samedi mug. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's a little hard to extract.
Yeah, I got it.
You do? Very good.
Yeah.
The Baron. Isn't that kind of fun?
Yeah, look at that.
He's got this sort of monstrous
visage. We got that at Tales of the Cocktail.
That was in New Orleans. Yeah. That was an item that was going. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen the rum, interestingly.
I don't think I have either.
I'm going to look around for that. Yep. Myers is fun.
But Henry, good to see you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Some people are really fond of Caruba. I happen to like Caruba a lot. You happen to like Caruba a lot. It's harder for us to get.
That sounds amazing, Gettysburg now.
But when we have an eye on it, then we can grab it.
Oh, what was the walnut thing we made?
Walnut liqueur.
Yeah, we did make walnut liqueur.
Walnut jello, whatever. You made that by doing the extract, and I think we still have some, and it should still be good because it's probably about 40 proof. It was literally just like the liquor, the nuts to extract the flavor, strain that out, and then cut with the sugar syrup. And it had a really nice flavor. I think that is probably good for a while too. That will last. That type of thing. Fruit flavors will start to fade, and the nut flavors will start to go off because of the essential oils. But you're probably good for a year or so. That's the kicker. You can buy that commercially. There are some good brands on the market. It was really nice to make it. I'll tell you.
ACNH Neptune, hello.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was a hello.
Yep.
Well, anyway, hello to you.
Well, hello to you.
Oh, it's a great extract for drinks, I bet. That sounds amazing.
Oh, here we go. So the vanilla caviar with it. All right. So, got it. So you're basically making your own extract that way to use as a flavoring agent.
Sounds incredible.
So it's not a shot, but it is like, drops worth of that. And that should be pretty potent. Yeah, absolutely. That vanilla really punches it up. We have historically gotten vanilla extract from Mexico where price is actually very nice. And it's very strong. It's a very, very forward flavor. It's very natural flavor. Pretty happy.
Errol, hello.
Hey.
It's good to see you. We were missing you, Errol.
We heard that you were
ACNH says hi. Oh, hi. How are you? Mm-hmm. We're great. How are you?
I don't think I'm quite down yet.
Errol, people were missing you.
Yeah, people were asking. Go back and check the comments.
I know.
Yep.
Errol made it home. There you go.
Isn't that great? Working two platforms over here, you two. Isn't that awesome?
It is great.
Anybody who would actually like to be on both go to town. It's not like there's anything preventing that. And, you know, one of these platforms likes to conk out every once in a while, and then what do? Go to the other one. You know, we're on both.
If you're ever trying to find us on a Wednesday, you're like, gosh, I thought they'd be live. If you're on Facebook and you don't see us, look on YouTube and vice versa.
Yep.
Because,
you know, maybe once in a while, one of these things gives us a lot of grief. So we start with the other one and then keep trying and see where we go.
You never know.
Sometimes the internet is
Abra,
just a fickle servant.
Abra's here too. Yay. Hello. All right.
Wow. Gang's all here, sounding like it, right?
I know.
That's awesome. Glad to see you all. We're enjoying some fine things tonight. I'm still enjoying this is my first and a half round because I actually had a drink to start with.
My first and a half round.
Yes. Because I usually don't start with something and then it's a while before I get to mixing. And today I happen to have half a drink from earlier when I had to experiment. And I said, what the heck? Finish that off on air. So that was good.
Here it says, stereo platforms for the clean, fresh ADHD. Oh, you don't know the half of it.
Oh.
Errol says, me being missed is surprising. It's better than hearing like, oh, it's you.
Oh, it's you. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't say surprising. People were actually asking. Just saying.
We always say that the song, Escape the Pina Colada song. And she said, oh, it's you.
Oh, it's you.
Oh.
Really?
It's you.
Anyway, for the benefit of those who have just joined us recently, this, in fact, is the Hawaii Kai Treasure. This is a fun one. I got a ton of crazy garnish going on here, including, I know it's Anti-Plastic Day, but I happen to have a plastic.
Well, it's not a one-time use plastic.
This thing we're going to keep using until it completely falls apart, folks. The big secret with this back in the day, besides secret formula of juices and rum, was that everyone came with a pearl. And I happen to have a genuine pearl in there.
Calling it Rusty's Pearl.
Rusty's Pearl.
Makes me think of CoverGirl.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one. It's something that probably doesn't see the light of day too much these days because some people don't know the Hawaii Kai. It was a classic New York joint. It was there for, something like 40 years. And then finally closed down early 90s before our time in the area, before we were thinking about these tropical joints.
I lived in New York. I just wasn't thinking tiki.
Yep.
I was living on peanut butter sandwiches and ramen noodles in that period of time.
If Trader Vic's had been open, we would have investigated.
No joke. Well, I didn't know you, so if I'd known you,
yes, and
you had mentioned Trader Vic's, I would have been all
about it. It wasn't too many years before we did find each other. And at that point in time,
it was too late.
We would have been interested.
Places.
At that point in time, what was starting to pop up were a lot of martini bars. Well, you know, it was time for a good martini to make its reappearance in the big city. And then it was time for other things to make their reappearances. And people like Dale DeGroff really started pushing that pretty hard. And what do you know? A lot of people, I think, went through his schooling and picked a few things up and said, I can go form my own place, and started doing that. So, like, a lot of people devolved from there.
Oh, Ramen Tonight thought of you. Yeah.
We have Amy, too.
I wrote a haiku about
we've been Amy for a while.
Back in the day.
Yep.
I was eating so much ramen, I wrote a haiku.
Do you remember the haiku?
I do.
Would you like to give a dramatic reading?
Should I?
We're here, aren't we? And should we let the audience decide? Haiku, no haiku? Please tell us.
No,
I'll see if I can get some more dregs out of the bottom of my glass here.
Are you ready? My ramen haiku.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please.
Ramen haiku. I'm ready.
Okay. Anytime you want.
Curly noodle block. Zesty flavor pack. Ready in how many minutes? I forget how many minutes.
Ready in 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Curly noodle block. Zesty flavor pack. Ready in 3 minutes.
That's it. That's the correct number of syllables.
That's it. Thank you.
Haiku,
Thank
folks.
you. Thank you. Yes.
Where's my little noisemaker? Oh, I don't have that.
Oh, here, I have it. I have it. Hold on.
Zesty noodle block.
You didn't know I was
Zesty
a
flavor
poet.
bag. Curly noodle dog.
You didn't know I was a poet, right?
You actually, well, I knew, but you know.
Hi, Christy. Good to see
Hello.
you. Oh,
right.
Linnell, hello. Okay, all right, we got. Oh, Phil wants to know how we met. Okay.
All right, so
We could tell that story.
well, this is an appropriate place to tell it because the actual space was about this footprint, as a matter of fact.
We've been cramming ourselves into small spaces since
Ever
we met.
since, you know, and the fact is that at the time that we were working.
No, Limerick, please. There once was a girl from Nantucket.
Oh, man. And you know something? If she could do that, oh boy. So we were actually working,
Christy's
and
ready for
we
you to
were
make a new drink.
in a footprint about this size, so we kind of couldn't help but become, close, become intimate, and also then after work, then people would repair to a local watering hole, and on occasion we would just find ourselves together because we kind of got pushed off the table, and I'm like, well, I'd rather sit with you anyway.
Well, I feel like you're
So
leaving
there you
out. You make your drink, and I'll tell the story, and then I'll fill in the gaps.
The pertinent details. It was in the theater, as a matter of fact.
So yes, so I was an apprentice in a theater company,
As it turns out.
and I was an acting apprentice.
All right.
Oh my gosh! All of the apprentices had to do tech for at least one show.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't know at the time was that we were their unpaid labor to do tech for all their shows. Okay, whatever. I beat out like 700 other people for this gig, so yay. So
You felt good about doing that.
I felt good. I was feeling good at that point.
Be back.
So I was doing lighting for a show, and it was a one-person show. This guy, it was actually a really good show, but they had me doing lighting, and they assured me, they put me in front of a computer, and they assured me all I had to do with every lighting change, I just had to push the same button. And no problem. Okay, so most nights I would just push the button, but I'm sitting like as close to Paul as I am behind this bar right now, and he was doing the sound. And Paul was even more quiet back then than he is now. He's not quiet here, but in real life, you might think like, what's up with that guy? Because he can be a little quiet. So I was just thinking like, oh, he must think I'm a complete spaz. And then one performance, which was when the person from the National Endowment for the Arts was there to decide like how much money this theater would get for that season, was when the computer program for the lighting decided to completely fail. So I'm sitting up there doing my buttons, pushing my buttons, and it's not working. The cues are all off. And like I would push a button for the lights to go down, they'd come up. I'd push a button for the lights to come up, they'd go down. It was a complete nightmare, and no, I had not had a drop to drink. It was just crazy. And
you couldn't have made that happen if you'd wanted to. It wasn't programmed that way.
And I didn't really know him, so I'm thinking like this guy has to think I'm the biggest idiot on the planet. And
I was kind of thinking at the time, gee, your light board's screwing up.
And the rep from the NEA is there, and he just I remember they said that he said something condescending like, "Oh, I guess you had an apprentice here or something," and it wasn't my fault because the lighting designer came after because he was doing some Broadway show at the time. He came after his show and he's like, "Oh, I guess there was a static ball in the system." And when I hear that now, I'm like, what? A what now?
This is the kind of thing, we have a couple engineers in this audience right now.
Oh,
this is the sort of
what?
thing you say when you're like, what's the translation behind that phrase? Nobody has any idea what the bleep went on.
This is what happened when you had
so you're going to blame it on a
apprentice
glitch.
Doing your lighting and an off-Broadway theater. But anyway.
Well, that would imply that you screwed something up. All you do was push buttons.
No, I know. But it was, yeah. But maybe when you're going to have the NEA person there, get someone who knows what they're doing. It's just an idea. Just an idea.
The actual lighting designer would have had the same exact trouble. No.
25 or so years later, I'm thinking, so if I was in that situation now and I'm having the representative there, I might make sure that I had someone there who really knew what was going on. But anyway,
it would have screwed up anyway.
It was our responsibility after the performances to put everything away. And everyone would go to the bar across the street from the theater after the show. So there was one evening where Paul and I were putting everything away. And by the time we got over there,
tables were all full.
All the seats at the table were full. So we had to sit at a little two-top table by ourselves.
Kitsch table.
And that's when we started talking.
Yeah. And
that's how we met.
Yeah, well, you were certainly talking to me afterwards about that board. I'm like, I know what's going on. It was like, when the controls fail, they fail. It wasn't things going down and up as much as, like, fades weren't happening.
You pushed each other's buttons. Exactly.
She didn't push my buttons.
Oh, Aubrey used to do tech for community theater.
Hey!
You know, like, fun. I feel like
you're familiar.
now that...
So you're familiar.
Oh, okay, he's going to make a drink, Christy. Oh, she did haiku on chewing gum. I love it. I love it, Lisa.
So, by the way, one thing about this room in here, it's probably a little hard to see because we don't have the camera tilted up.
Ginger snap and finger snap are definitely the same thing.
A drink, when you have a drink in this house here and you happen to end up with an umbrella, what do you do with the spent umbrella? Well, you can take it home. I happen to have two of them in my hat right now. But what you generally do with this, above me is a burlap ceiling, is that you impale it in the ceiling.
I would put it in. Oh, he did it though. He got it.
And that's why this is, I should tilt up the camera so you can see, that's why the ceiling is full of all these umbrellas. And I can admit that most of them probably came from us. So,
Errol says, had a professor that said, if an engineer tells you he can do something, be skeptical. If he tells you he can't, you can count on it. That makes sense. Actually.
Well, you know what? There's engineers and there's mechanics. And when you need something to work, I want to talk to the latter. A good mechanic is really worth the salt. And like whichever sex we're talking about. A lot of good lady mechanics
I remember,
out there too. So sounds like a guy's profession, but if you know how to do it, you know how to do it. I'm going to get rid of some detritus because...
Oh, okay. So I can kind of finish the story. So we were sitting at the little two-person bar table across the street from the theater, the two-person bar. That would be great, but two-person bar table. And my roommate had just told me, because he's as much of a nerd as Paul and I are, my roommate had told me that the Odd Couple theme has lyrics. And I didn't know that back then because I'd never seen the movie. I'd only seen the TV series. And he's like, oh, no. In the movie, it has lyrics. And he had sung the Odd Couple theme at some audition. So when I saw Paul that night, sitting at our little table, I didn't realize he worked at a store that sold records from movies and TV and theater. So, I had no idea he would know this, but we somehow got on the topic of the Odd Couple. And I said, did you know the Odd Couple theme has lyrics? And he's like, yeah, I knew that. But then he made me a mixtape. So you talk about 90s. He made me a mixtape.
The old comp series. Big fun. When
yes, like the umbrellas at the Lunois. Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. And you know who started that trend?
Oh, I know.
I remember talking to Chris at the Lunois, and he's like, you know what you should do? And he put it in the bar area, he put it in the burlap ceiling, and then we and our buddy Dennis started putting the umbrellas up there. And I believe we got you into that too. So you managed to garnish as well. That's awesome. So
that's not eating Grandpa. Oh, Michael's asking, what do theater people think of Waiting for Guffman? I love Waiting for Guffman.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's well done. It's well done. I enjoy everything out of those guys. That whole crew that does these things. Yep. They make these largely improvised pictures, and they've had a lot of experience doing stand-up and improv and comedy and etc. And I think they're all writers, and right now they're probably all filmmakers if they weren't before. And they work very well together. It's hilarious stuff.
Oh, Lisa says we are a couple. She says, I'm Oscar. Oh.
I know certain odd couples who are kind of like two Oscars, and I think that doesn't really work. You need a Felix to do the dishes from now and again. So, anyway.
I feel like we're kind of both Oscar and both Felix. If that makes sense.
I wake up in this place, and I tend not to do dishes after hours because I get sleepy and break things, so I don't want to do that. But in the morning, I'm like, yeah, let's wake up and go, and then I'll just take care of business, and it focuses the mind. Yeah, I'm one of those guys who wakes up and does the dishes and feels good about it.
But then if he wakes up and I've already done the dishes, he's kind of mad.
I got nothing to do. Hey, stop it.
Okay, fine.
So fine then.
You can do the dishes.
So you can do the dishes.
Enjoy.
Anyway, could you fill me up with some ice?
Yep.
Or
here. I will fill you up with some ice.
If you were about to leave, I could let me fill myself.
Nope, I will do it. I got this.
Next round, please.
Feel useful.
Well, you are more than useful. Seriously.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Okay.
So
we're gonna have a little fun here.
Something.
Some of you long-term watchers, and particularly you fans of the tropical drinks, know the canon, and they know it well. You've got your fog cutters, you've got your Mai Tais, you've got your, what else is there? You've got your zombies, you have your scorpion bowls, PB2Y2. There's a little fun thing from Vic. And there's a bunch of Don Beach drinks out there, the Maiden's Downfall, this kind of thing. They will tend to be made they'll tend to be made 24 ways in 24 restaurants. But there's a canonical way to make them, and there's the only way to make them, etc., etc. Well, I believe in making it well, and I believe in making it right. And I also believe in messing around with these things because that's what we do around here, and I certainly do it with things that I developed, so why the hell not? But I also believe in having a little fun. And I know fully well that if you're going to talk Mai Tai, there's a way to make it that is, better than some of these interesting variations.
That's the actual way?
Which would be Trader Vic's. I know that Don Beach claimed that he invented the damn thing.
Ooh, Jet Pilot.
Oh, Jet Pilot, thank you. That's a good one to throw down on there. There's a couple of variations on Jet Pilot, but the one you probably want to do is a Steve Crane.
Oh, yeah. Pulse shopping at the Garden Center.
When would that have been from?
Ooh. All right, now I'm curious.
You saw a video of me pushing a cart down the street, which actually contained a video display rack.
DVD rack.
This is true.
Yep.
Yeah, that was on a hand truck. And I'm trying to think of what else you might have seen. Maybe shop at the Garden Center. I don't know. If you can turn it up and if you can tell me the link, then I'll take a look and see. And if it's me, I'll admit it.
MJ Charger SD. Hello.
Hey.
Marty brought me over. Oh. Which recipe book on your Amazon store is your favorite? Oh, that's a good question.
Oh.
I'm going to go look and let you know.
Take a look at the store? Okay. Meantime, are you going to look here?
I am. Do you need me to?
I need to figure out what I'm doing first, and then I can go from there.
Oh, wait. Oh, right. Okay, hold on. Read that, and then... Oh, MASH. Okay. Oh, all right. I'll be right back. I'm going to figure this out.
All right. Big fun. Anyway, so... one thing we like to do is kind of like mess with the formula from time to time to see what happens, because sometimes it's just plain fun. I will make this, and all of you fans that know the canonical way to make this will go, what? Look, this is a Vic drink. You can make it according to his formula. It's excellent. You can do that for the next 1,000 days, and you'll never go wrong. But then you can make something from the Hawaii Kai cookbook. That's the Hawaii Kai Mai Tai. Oh, boy. Well, let's start out here. First of all, it starts out strong. 1 3/4 ounce of amber rum. Now, let's see what I've got at my fingertips. I did bring this one in. I do happen to have the excellent Old Port. So, Indian rum. How about that? Big fun. India probably started distilling rum before anybody because that's where sugarcane originates. This is going to go with 1 3/4, and this is a good solid 3/4 ounce pour right here. And I'm going to go with that. If I still have my 1 ounce at my fingertips, I'd be glad to use it, and I do. Well, all right then. The other side of this is 1 1/2, which is not quite right, but there we go. Now, 1 3/4 ounces of Demerara rum. Interestingly, I think the only Demerara I have down here happens to be, you can still hear me, of course, Lemonheart, and happens to be 151. Well, I'm not going to throw 1 3/4 ounces of 151 in this drink right now, unless this broadcast was going to end. But I will say that, about like 1 1/4, maybe. would be about the equivalent of 80 proof. There we go. Once it all gets diluted, you're fine. That's a much lower pour than called for because it's strong.
I want that. I'm going to stitch that on a pillow. Once it all gets diluted, you're fine.
If you throw down 2 ounces of 151 in your drink, whoa! You know, we're not trying to kill people here.
I saw a recipe like that recently. I'm trying to remember where I saw it. That was like 2 ounces of overproof rum. I was like, wow, okay.
Immortal words of William Powell as Nick Cheryl's. Yeah,
that's nuts.
It's a little rough.
Oh, okay. So favorite drink in our Amazon
drink
store.
book.
Drink book. I wish we sold drinks in our Amazon store.
Oh,
drink book. Any of the Jeff Berry books or Imbibe.
Imbibe is actually very good.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That really hits a lot of things pretty hard. That's the Wonders book, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's got like a lot of stories and a lot of drinks. Good stuff. That would be interesting.
Oh, the Dick Van Dyke theme. That does have lyrics, right?
Not that I know of.
Oh, I think it does. Yeah, suicide is painless. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because that theme started
Hi, Doug. Good to see you.
That theme started out with lyrics for the movie. And then when it was time to use it in the TV show, I guess the producers decided, well, we don't really want those lyrics on the air every week. And they chose a version by Ahmad Jamal. And that's the flute lead that you've heard on the TV show. But the actual theme song is, in fact, Suicide is Painless. His name's just, composer's right out of my head right now. Same guy who did Sandpiper, I believe.
The
Johnny
Van
Mandel.
Dyke theme has lyrics.
Oh, it does have lyrics, really.
Say.
Lyrics by Maury Amsterdam.
Think you got troubles, well, troubles a bubble.
To tell old Mr. Trouble to get lost. Oh, boy.
Wait. All right, I'd have to get it in my head again to hear the actual music, but Maury Amsterdam wrote the lyrics.
It's cute. I wouldn't call it fantastic.
All right, now, if anyone gets this reference, I will send you a prize. Maury Amsterdam can make a sane man crazy. Maury Amsterdam can make a nice guy kill. If you get that one,
send us something and
I'll send you a bonus piece of crap if you can name that reference.
Oh, the classic bonus piece of crap. Here we go. We're gonna go backwards on this one. Half ounce of orgeat. Now this is sounding pretty canonical so far.
Canonical?
It's not too far off at all. A half ounce of orgeat goes directly into the Trader Vic Mai Tai. Happen to be using the same half ounce pour there. Now it's going for 3/4 ounce of honey. Again, I'm using the honey mix so that
so you announced what you're doing here, right?
No, I have not. Actually, I have announced that I'm doing the the Hawaii Kai.
Definitely not the Trader Vic's Mai Tai.
There we go. 3/4 ounce of honey mix. Again, this is like 1-to-1 honey and water so that it pours nicely. That's about right. I don't want this to get too sweet. The mix does not call for honey, but it does call for a rock candy syrup. So, okay, fair is fair.
Dead Milkman.
Boom.
Phil got it.
Boom. So, the man who knows.
I'm going to give you a bonus piece of crap at Ohana.
We'll see you. We'll see you.
Oh, Ahmad Jamal.
Still mixing. Yep. And let's see here. 3/4 ounce of orange juice. Now, this is where we start to veer off a bit, but we still got orange flavor.
No, it's
so
not the same.
So I think, well, what the heck? Whether you're actually using a liqueur or orange, well, have you really gone too far off?
Yes, it's already way off.
But now we start into 3/4 ounce of pineapple juice. Okay. Well, that's a common ingredient in the New England Mai Tai.
Derailed. This Mai Tai has been derailed.
Well, we're trying it because it's pretty strong.
It's going to get worse.
Pretty strong. Okay, a full shot of grapefruit juice. Wow. Where are they going with this?
So not a Mai Tai.
We're about to find out. I'm not sure I've ever made this before. Certainly not on the air. But if somebody can prove me otherwise, maybe you'll find me from 5 years ago where I did. That would be hilarious.
That would be like you 5,000
totally did this
ago.
in 2016, guy.
Okay, I'll say 5,000 drinks ago. I don't remember that. But...
Can't remember that far back. Going to bust these over here, and once again, with your cubes
into your
flush blender. Rums are in. Now, once again, I threw some 151 in there, but how much? About half as much as I need. So once you dilute this with all this ice and all this other fluid there, what happens? It just turns into 80 proof, same quantity. If you decided to use a full 1.5 ounces of 151, wow. Okay, nurse that along for a while, will you?
Wouldn't want to be you in the morning.
That could be pretty rough. So we are going to go. I'm going to choose a suitable vessel over here.
Yes, Dead Milkman. So the Dead Milkman apparently played in Jersey City like a week ago.
What?
Like, how did I not know about this?
How did I miss this?
I would have I don't go to many shows, but I would have made time for that.
We would have put that into practice. Trying to find something that I think.
Oh, Michael says, who's the better theme show writer, Hoyt Axton or Jerry Fielding? I bet you have opinions.
You know, I would go with Fielding for a lot of things, but I at the moment I'm like, well, which TV theme did he write? That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Dead Milkman.
Oh, this needs a rinse. Be right back.
Yes, we were just talking about the Dead Milkman, Ryan. Oh yeah, I love Mike Post too, but I know the names. Like, yeah, like why Hoyt Axton, I know more than Jerry Fielding, but I know both names, so I need someone to let me know why I know those names. Oh, Bikini Kill, Devin, yes. Oh, Mike Post all day, every day. I love Mike. Yep. Oh, Doug says, that reminds me, I need to make some MTM references around my young coworker from Minneapolis. Oh, I love it. I tripped over the Ottoman. I tripped over the Ottoman one too many times. I tripped over the Ottoman until I lost my mind. I love the Dead Milkman. How did we not see them? Phil saw the Dead Milkman in St. Louis. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Snuck in. Well, that's as it should be.
All right.
I'm so excited to hear that they might be performing in our neck of the woods.
Hello.
At some future point.
I was about to go and cut some more mint, but you know what? I just recovered it from my other drink.
You gotta turn it around though so they can see the tiki.
I'm not finished yet.
The tiki's mooning them.
There we go. Oh, wow. Nice and full.
He might have filled my double old-fashioned glass too.
Yeah. Nice full drinks. Well, this actually kind of folds
Makes it
things
look
up
like
a
we
bit,
know what we're doing.
which is kind of nice. Going to put that in there.
Surfing cow.
There we go. Let's see if I can find another color.
Surfing cow.
Boom, 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 boom. And guess what? I actually remember the umbrella this time.
Oh, another one for the ceiling.
Here we go. In we go. Hawaii Kai Mai Tai. You're saying to yourself, there's so much in there that is so off of formula.
Not
It's
a
so
Mai Tai.
wrong.
Not a Mai Tai.
Yeah, but I would drink that 7 days a week. That's terrific.
It's a good drink.
Yep.
It's in no way a Mai Tai.
It's close.
But it's good.
It's close. It's a relative up. It's not far off. The actual book will say, what do they have to say about this whole thing?
Oh, Jerry Fielding wrote Hogan's Heroes theme. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Howard Jones. Yeah. Have I had enough drinks to talk about Howard Jones?
Just a moment. Mai Tai, according to the book here, Mai Tai means the best. Well, this is documented. Every mixologist in the tropics has his own secret recipe for this drink. Well, that back in the day was true because nobody knew what was in what Vic was doing. So
Howard Jones
they all had
will
to fake
be
it.
in Pittsburgh soon. I love Howard Jones. This is Bitchin' Camaro. Philip.
Yep.
The Velvetones are going to perform Bitchin' Camaro in our next performance.
Forgot that you did have an umbrella too.
Oh, my umbrella's blown out though.
That's because you're having a hurricane. I know you're not, but close enough. Yeah.
We're not performing at Ohana this year, but hopefully next year.
Circumstances prevail otherwise.
We have signals against us.
Yes.
But hopefully next year.
Good way to put it.
But we were performing at Milltown. And I feel like Bitchin' Camaro is like, we got to do it, so.
Oh, we'll get that going. Can't be that hard.
Oh, theme from Hill Street Blues, theme from Greatest American Hero, theme from White Shadows. Oh, I remember all these shows.
This is
Magnum P.I.
Post?
School's Out.
Rockford,
you know, yeah.
Yeah.
I always say about guys like that, it was good to be you.
Did well.
You just lived in a mansion in Bel Air.
It was
good to be you.
If he was simply collecting a quarter for every time that
Barney Miller, A-Team.
If for every time that theme was played on the air, that would have been his million right there. Yeah. You know, but they were well compensated for what they did.
We love Lalo Schifrin, Dean.
Oh yeah, a lot of love for Lalo. It's pretty funny to think of like somebody that prominent and it's called Lalo, but yeah, that's just a term of affection. He's got some excellent themes like you do not believe.
88 Lines About 44 Women. We know that one.
I can't sing that to save my life, but I remember it.
But we know it. We know it.
You know what? I'm going to throw some bitters in here.
Do it.
I'm going to throw some infused tropical tea.
That one I do remember. 88 Lines About 44 Women.
Yeah, that was a big thing back in the day.
Yep.
It's like their song.
What was I was going to say something. Oh, Howard Jones.
You were talking about Howard. What about Howard Jones?
TV party. Yes. No. We're going to have a TV party, all right, tonight. Gonna have a TV party tonight. All right.
That definitely helped.
Nothing better to do than watch TV and have a couple of brews. Wait.
So you were talking about Howard Jones, though.
Oh. Aaron says, okay, full list. The Andy Williams Show. Post got this music director job at the very young age of 24. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, I know him from all these shows that we watch, but...
Sure. His name just kept coming up.
I suddenly have a new respect for Mike Post.
He was kind of the king of 70s TV themes. He was all over that stuff.
But there was also... Who am I thinking of? The one from Chips. That's more 80s, though. Never mind.
That is... out of my head right now, very well-known, very well-known composer who actually talks about his career where in that period of time, it's like
Alan Silvestri. I don't have to look him up.
Silvestri was doing a lot of stuff for Chips, which was very 70s, and all of his themes are pretty disco. So he was like, well, I was a disco composer. And then later on, he was like the hard rock composer. And then later on, he's the symphonic composer, and etc. Pretty hilarious. If you can keep reinventing yourself like that, that's awesome.
Yeah. Lalo Schifrin. Yeah, we love him.
Lalo's responsible for two themes that you'll know right off the bat.
Who doesn't love Repo? I love Repo Man so much. I love Repo Man.
There is a term that gets kicked around about our age group, which I think is like whatever. But then there's a term that gets kicked around where they say Repo Man generation. I'm like, yeah, I can get to that.
Yeah, it's like Gen X or whatever. It's like the Repo Man generation.
Who cares?
Henry Mancini. Yeah. Yes, Henry Mancini.
Hello. Well, Hank...
We play a lot of Mancini around here.
Television-wise, Hank gave you some things that you know very well, Peter Gunn, and some things that you followed up immediately with Mr. Lucky, both great. But then things you probably don't think about too much, like What's Happening.
Yeah, the theme from What's Happening is Henry Mancini.
Pretty awesome. Silver Streak.
Reruns, Chasing the Truck down the street. That's Henry Mancini.
That's the good stuff. There's... what was I thinking of? Lalo gives you two things in pretty unusual time signatures for what they are. First of all, if you ever want to explain to somebody what is 5/4 time, just start humming the theme to Mission Impossible. Bang, right there. And that totally,
which is such a good one.
Totally drives in 5/4. Great show. Love that show. And then of course there's Mannix, which is old style. Tough guy. I'm not a cop. But yeah, Lalo. He did the score to The President's Analyst, which is a gem.
Devin,
gem.
I think you're
awesome.
Correct.
So,
Devin says, I feel like naming generations is another way to separate people. I think you're correct. Oh, Newhart. I've seen the Bob Newhart show. I've seen less of the follow-up Newhart show with Mary Fran. Mm-hmm. But I've seen less of that. But I do love Bob Newhart's.
I think I watched pretty much equal amounts of both series, and they're both good. But I will say that definitely appreciate the theme to the original Bob Newhart show.
Oh my gosh.
That's got a lot of drive.
Kenny's program says TV parties for us 80s TV dinner nights. Wait, hold on. It's moving. On our folding tables in the living room in front of the TV, being forced to watch Dallas or Dynasty while trying to figure out exactly what vegetable is in that one tray compartment. Oh.
That vegetable, of course, is, I believe, probably something not calling itself what it is, succotash.
Punk rock girl and Euro trash girl. Oh, played back to back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Henry on What's Happening.
Yes, he did write the theme of What's Happening.
There's a collection out there. There's a 3 CD set from about 1998 that came out in RCA. Big box set. It's really cool. We have a copy of this.
Aren't you thanked?
I am not thanked. I think they thanked the gang at the record store.
Oh.
But the guy who was compiling this thing puts this thing together, and he comes in and he says, I'm really good all the way into the 70s. And then I'm like, I need stuff. And I said, well, you've got this, you've got Silver Streak, right? Oh, no, I don't have that one. Yeah, he did that. Well, you got What's Happening, right? Oh, I didn't have that one. And I just named like a half a dozen songs, and suddenly that's the collection. So I'm the reason that those songs are on that collection. It's well worth your time if you find a copy of it.
Yes, Michael pointed out Pink Panther theme.
Pink, of course.
Insane.
Charade, of course. Experiment in Terror. Something called High Time, which was a Bing Crosby picture. I really wanted to find that on open reel tape and have not yet. It's pretty elusive. It's a pretty good score. The aforementioned Mr. Lucky, which is a really great score. Really, really great score. Pretty cool series too.
I can't even read all the comments, but I'm loving them.
And what else can I name right off the bat? One of the later Orson Welles pictures, of course, Touch of Evil. That's Henry Mancini. Excellent score, which is half big Latin sound, like a real mambo sound, and half like just straight up sleazy rock and roll. He was equally adept at both.
We'll always love that Repo Man was made with Mike Nesmith's whiteout money.
More or less. But yeah, he was financing a lot of these pictures at the time.
Yes. Oh, God. Such a good conversation. Like, this is why I'm like, I don't like to plan these broadcasts too much, because the conversation just becomes amazing without us planning. So
it's fun stuff. I'm trying to think of what else from Mancini.
Hi, Sherry.
Of course, Tiffany's. Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's a great score. It makes you weep. I know, but it's great.
It does.
It's terrific. It does have like one of the greatest cha-chas of all time. Something for Cat. And what else? Great Races him.
Amy, I'm with you.
Arabesque actually is a pretty cool score from him. The What You Do in the War, Daddy is him. The movie feature of Peter Gunn was simply called Gunn, Gunn. Did feature Craig Stevens. Never seen this. Really need to see this. Apparently like a very vivacious picture. Blake Edwards. And,
hi, Jennifer.
Does have some of the music from the TV series, but a lot of just original material to the movie. And it has a vocal version of the theme.
Oh,
very cool.
Okay, Sherry. Okay, Sherry, first of all, I hope you feel better. A simple, non-alcoholic cocktail for your sober bar. I was just reading about one today. Pardon me for 1 second. I'm going to look this up. Hold on.
Take a look for that. Let me think.
Oh, no, wait. It's over here. Never mind.
Okay.
Here I am. Going over there, and it's in here. Okay. Hold on. I saw one today that I thought sounded good.
I'm trying to think of like what I would do like right off the bat. That would be a good place to start, and you could vary this a lot. A lot of the non-alcoholic cocktails are like 2 ounces of orange juice, 2 ounces of pineapple juice, and some fizz, and I think, well, that's awfully sweet.
All right. Here's one. Okay, here it is. I would add some seltzer to the top of this. I think it might be too sweet otherwise, but I would do 1 part. This is the Island Sunrise cocktail from the Pacifica House Hawaii Cookbook.
The aforementioned. That gives us our snack mix.
1 part papaya juice, 1 part guava juice, 1 part pineapple juice. Now, like I said, I would top that with some seltzer, but
yeah, so
that's the
pineapple,
suggestion.
Guava. There's a classic mix that they use in bars, which is POG, pineapple orange guava. So this is pineapple papaya guava.
Yep.
Really just a minor variation.
Yeah.
And that's actually a great base for a lot of things, but I would definitely cut that
Very
bit.
tropical.
Bear in mind, a great thing to do with something that is really just juice and seltzer is use some bitters. If you can't have any alcohol whatsoever, that's one thing, but you're using 2 drops of the bitters. That's very concentrated flavor that will cut the sweetness right down. That's a good idea. You can always throw in a squeeze of lime or lemon to cut that down. You can throw the shell in, and the bitterness will actually help with that. And you know what's a great idea? A great base for a mocktail is tea. Black tea, green tea. And if you wanted to start with something that's a little, particularly a bitter edge, like dandelion root tea, immediately sets you down on that sort of an Amaro note that is very good for a mocktail.
But I get, if you're like in a hotel room and you don't have time to source dandelion root tea,
but you might have an access to green tea. And it might even be sitting in your little mini bar there,
Doug mentioned Route 66.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Nelson Riddle, I believe.
Great, yes.
Excellent theme.
Nelson Riddle.
And there's a Nelson Riddle TV themes collection called Route 66. That whole collection and the sequel, absolutely worth your time. Totally cool.
You gotta catch up. I'm gonna dump my ice because I want something else.
Okay, here's a big vote for High Time from Dean. I've heard the score once by just looking it up. I never found a copy of it for a really good price. I know it exists on open reel tape. At one point we were, well, I was anyway, but we were collecting all of the Mancinis on tape because all of the big titles you could find. And it's like, we have a player, and I'm like, what do I want to play on an open reel player? I want to play some Mancini, so we'll just throw on Tiffany's, and it's like, wow, that's awesome. Then you throw on Charade. It's a great, great score. And Mr. Lucky, very cool. I've played that a lot. I have not actually played Peter Gunn on that machine because it was never issued on a 4-track tape format. Doug, you still watching? Never done. Except for the 8-track. There's an 8-track 2-pack of the 2 volumes. Honestly, that sounds pretty good. But I would love a reel of it. It's very, very hard to find. Hello, is it time?
It's time for me.
Oh, it's time for you anyway. So, Quincy Jones for Ironside. Oh, that is a cool theme. Yeah. Quincy Jones, a Street Beater, I believe, was theme to Sanford and Son, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. There is a Quincy Jones album from the 70s. I think it's called You Got a Bad Girl, A&M Records, and he actually does feature Sanford and Son on there, which is very cool. And actually, the whole rest of the album is great. He made 4 or 5 albums for A&M at the time that are pretty cool. A couple of them were issued in quad. They're kind of fun to hear that way. This Walking in Space album has some great cuts on it. Pretty fun. And, Hatari, thank you. I was forgetting about the fact that Hatari we have on a 2-pack, Hatari and the Party. These are 2 very different scores. Hatari's all jungle music, and the Party's all go-go music. And they're both excellent. And it's just one of these 2-packs at half speed that you just play, and you play it and you flip it and you play the other side, and you're like, just keep that going all night. That's just very cool. Love the Party. I'm not a really huge fan of the movie, but on record, I'm not a huge fan of the movie. Some people love that movie to death, I know. Well, I just think that the Sellers character is just kind of wasted in the thing. But then over time, we're watching this again, and I'm realizing there's a lot else going on in this. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. It's wine day, so
Gotta have some wine.
tribute to Glendora.
Gotta have some wine. There's our
favorite cousin.
That whole bit in the party with the waiters. Watch that.
Oh,
this is where this movie starts to shine. And it's Blake Edwards.
Birdie
funny
num
things
num.
are going to happen.
Birdie num num.
That's not the funny part of the movie. That's the thing. I don't really care for that. But
Mancini
all the
is
stuff in the background. Whoa.
Oh, Kitty from Ma'am says, I often turn on Mancini while listening to you folks.
Oh, well, that's an excellent idea.
I love that.
That's an excellent
Oh, Lisa, Amos is playing music in the background, too.
I know.
One day we'll be so big we can just afford to license everything. And,
it's a drag that we can't just do this without getting nailed to the wall. And I think, yes, some larger characters out there who have a little influence, and you know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, they just do this with a band.
Devin says I'm so invested in Glendora's story lately. Oh, jeez.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're watching. We make them. They're fun. It's always great to shoot Glennie because she's a little acerbic on camera, but she tells it like it is. Her saga. Glendora has two mommies. You know, it goes from there.
But not in that way. Wait, she was Leona Helmsley. Well, then there you go. There you proved.
Yep.
If only Glendora had two mommies, that would be no problem. Unfortunately, Glendora has two mommies who are criminals.
Is that
if
it?
She just had two mommies. Yeah, whatever. She has two mommies who are criminals. Ooh. Velveteen Lounge on one tab. Mancini on the oh.
Oh man.
Amy, did I get that info?
Did you mention something in a prior broadcast, or is it in this one? Because I can certainly miss things. So if you need to kick me in the keister, please do so.
Amy. So please.
Don't worry about kicking me in the keister. I'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because I can miss things. We've got a few things going on. If I'm not completely white by the end of this year, hair I'm talking about, then something is going wrong because that means I'm not working hard enough. And we're trying to make everything like fall into place simultaneously. What can I say? Insurance policies. Why is our lives about insurance policies? So
Glendora has two mommies. Sounds like an episode of Jerry
Springer. Seriously. Yeah, it's totally
Glendora's life is like an episode of Jerry Springer.
Who was the other loudmouth from the 80s, 90s?
Geraldo.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Geraldo, who was successfully parodied in UHF.
Hi, Lynn. Thank you.
Morton Downey Jr. That's the guy I'm thinking of. Yeah, he would have had like somebody two moms. And he would have been screaming at him, well, you people, you degenerates, blah, blah, blah.
Geez.
Yeah. Didn't he go down in flames like so many of them? Yeah.
I think I don't know.
I think he burned himself out. I recall he was always smoking on the air too. He's one of those guys who just like, well, he probably just might have taken care of that problem himself. I'm thinking about other themes. There was a mention.
He's self-selected.
Self-selected. There was a mention again, and I got to go back here that Quincy Jones did the theme to Banachek. Oh boy, wasn't that George Papard? That series? I got to go backwards and see. Here we go. Oh, Mike, thank you, Michael. I don't actually know the full canon of Quincy, and he did a lot of things like that. I mentioned Lalo Schifrin. I think he did more themes than I've mentioned for TV. He certainly did plenty of movie themes like Cincinnati Kid, which is actually a great main title. Again, kind of an unusual time signature. That was a specialty. I happen to really like when a theme kicks off in something like 5/4. That really, really drives. And if you want other examples
thank you,
of that,
Amy. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Things get missed.
Oh, they do. They do too much. But you're good.
I think you might have hooked me up, and then, did COVID happen?
That could well be.
There was someone that we got hooked up with, and I forget whether it was Rumbar or you, but COVID happened, and it was that just went all to
everything.
Heck.
Those things went to hell. I'll just say it. HE double hockey sticks there, folks.
Right back.
And what am I thinking of what was I just saying? Anybody? What was I just saying? Who knows? Had a little more wine. 5/4 time. Theme to Mission Impossible. Take 5 by Dave Brubeck. And Living the Past by Jethro Tull. There you go. That's all you need to explain to people. What happens with that extra note in the measure? You just throw it in there. Drives the song totally. 7/4 is a great time signature. I like that a lot. 11/4. Wow, that's kind of weird.
11/4?
11/4.
What is it? Morton died. I guess that's why he doesn't have a show anymore.
And that's why he doesn't have. Or Maury. That's another good one. Oh, jeez.
Maury.
We degenerated to talk shows, reality talk shows. Oh,
okay,
boy.
So our friend Donna has a portrait in her tiki bar. Oh, good night, Gettysburg Ma'am. Oh, Dave Brubeck. Dave Brubeck's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, Gettysburg Ma'am. Okay, so our friend Donna has a painting, a portrait in her tiki room that is just unlike anything anyone else I know has in their tiki room, and I'm so jealous. It's a portrait of Connie Chung and Maury Povich and their child.
And family,
And someone painted this of them. And I guess some worker was working on their house and mentioned the portrait. And they're like, oh, hey, you want it? And they ended up with it. And then they ended up with it. Donna.
So Donna has it. Is this on?
I think Chris might have found it. I forget who found it.
It sounds like a Chris thing.
Donna or Chris, if you're watching, let us know how this came into your lives. But
what's the story? Drop the story here, please.
The kitschiest thing anyone I know owns.
John Waters is
John Waters
envious
just
of your house because I'm just saying. Speaking of John Waters, mentioned earlier in this broadcast.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wasn't that on Black Velvet too? Am I wrong?
I don't remember whether it was on Black Velvet. I just remember that it was.
I don't want to get it wrong.
Just this cheesy portrait
was
painting of Maury Povich, Connie Chung, and their child, whose name I don't know.
We do a certain amount of kitsch around this place, including a few big eye paintings. None of them by actual Margaret Keane.
No.
But the imitators, they're out there. I grew up with one of these on my wall when I was a kid. Oh boy. But I don't think that we have anything that quite matches the incredible nature of the Chung Povich family there. That's pretty amazing.
Is it Chung Povich or Povich Chung?
I kind of feel like she wears the name in the family. She comes first.
She definitely has the more, I want to say the more storied career, but
yeah.
I don't actually know the story of the
Chung
Povich family.
They were both extremely prominent at one point in time.
Yes.
But potentially she has more long-lasting
She was an
influence.
Actual
She was an actual
person.
Yeah, a serious person. So there's
an actual news person, which I don't know what his origins were.
Mm.
He must have had something on the ball because why would she have married him? But besides just being this exploitative
TV kind of person, personality.
You know what? I'm gonna Google him.
So Michael actually just dropped on us. I was asking about signatures. I was saying I didn't really know anything that I could name in 7/4.
Maurice Richard Povich is an American retired television personality.
I just said television personality. What do you know? Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay. He was a reporter, blah, blah, blah. Seeking to further his career, he left Washington for what would become a series of high-profile, short-lived television jobs. Chicago, blah, blah, blah. Hubert Humphrey. Carol Channing? What?
Touting Povich's credentials. I just love him. Okay, interesting. Yep.
Povich then headed to CBS-owned KNXT in Los Angeles, where he co-anchored alongside Connie Chung. Okay.
Well, there we go.
But was ousted after a 6-month stint following a charge in the station's news management.
Change in the station's news management.
But he
that happens.
Wait, hold on.
In San Francisco.
Oh, a current affair. That's where he really made his name. A current affair. The Maury Povich show. He made a lot of money.
He did perfectly fine.
Weekends with Maury and Connie. Oh no. How did I not see Weekends with Maury and Connie?
So, I'm not familiar with
Are
that.
Are they still married? It says in 1984 he married news anchor Connie Chung, whom he met while working in the news department at WTDG. In 1995, Chung and Povich adopted a son, Matthew J. Povich. Okay, he's the one in the painting.
Okay, I don't see anything about the any separation there, so I guess they're still together.
They're just still together.
Okay, I think they're largely out of the center of the media eye, so perhaps that helps, that kind of thing. Yep. Fun stuff. We got a big vote for Take 5. Yeah, Take 5 is killer. Absolute killer. Also, like the track that starts off that album, Blue Rondo, is pretty,
we're missing
pretty killer stuff. Absolutely. 7-4 Money, Pink Floyd. Yeah, that really drives.
Tantalum is not latex free. What? Wait, hold on. What?
Interesting. Well, I didn't know that.
Okay, wait. Plaid. All right, hold on. I gotta catch up.
Yeah. Well, there are things there. That was an adopted child. That's very true. Still enjoying the Hawaii Kai Mai Tai, despite protestations to the contrary. And I will say it also improves when it has a little ice melt. That's actually a common factor with these things. And that's why some people start with the crushed ice or with the pellet ice.
Elizabeth says, I would caption the Chunkovich family portrait. His DNA test has determined you are not the father.
Unlikely, true. Unlikely, but true.
Oh my God. Hilarious.
Yep. We were talking about theme songs. Okay. I couldn't actually name the theme to the Maury show there. I suspected it had a theme at the time. I don't think I ever watched it, really. I wasn't into that sort of thing at the time. It was huge. That whole like series of talk shows were confrontational talk shows. All of these guys that were mentioning did them. Jeez, Geraldo? Oh boy.
Which is sent up hilariously in the film UHF.
I believe he even sends up the whole Geraldo special there.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
He opened up. What was it? Who am I thinking of? Al Capone's Cadillac there. It's just like, and Weird Al goes in and he opens up the glove compartment. Look, road maps. You know? Yeah.
Oh, Al Jarreau put lyrics to Blue Rondo a la Turk. Ah!
I did hear that.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, that is great stuff.
All right. Okay.
The man for the job is most likely none other than Al Jarreau. I think he did a great job on that, as I recall. We were mentioning earlier in this conversation Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross, who would put lyrics to various and sundry. In the vernacular, that tends to be known as vocalese. And there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun going on there. There's, I'm trying to think, was there a specific name they did that I can name that is, there was something called Moody's Mood. Vocal version of the James Moody I'm in the Mood for Love sax solo. So that's actually, I know that's not them. That's King Pleasure. Yeah, sorry. Similar idea though. Yeah, I ramble on these things and then I realize, nope, different guy.
Staten Island Mental Health Hospital.
Oh boy. Yeah, there's Time Out, there's Time Further Out, and then there's a Countdown, Time in Outer Space. 3 big albums where Brubeck Quartet decided to get really way out on time. Countdown actually has a track called 11-4. That is pretty fascinating.
11-4,
that really drives.
Crazy.
That really drives. If you think, well, isn't that just 3 measures of like, 5? Yeah, well, it potentially, but it depends on how you count it. If you want to get further out into that stuff, check out Don Ellis. He did some pretty fun stuff in time. I happen to be really love time signatures, and that's because I'm a frustrated drummer. But I've never actually played the instrument. So.
Oh, I haven't heard anything from Weird Al recently, Julie. So okay, I'll check it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see what's going on. I think he made a couple of really prominent videos during the midst of all this stuff, which just demonstrated that he's a versatile guy who can whip out a video on demand. Mm-hmm. Well, after all, he's been making impromptu lyrics for things for a long time.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to see the Weird Al show live, that is a thing of astonishment. A lot of costume changes.
Time is Tight by Booker T.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's killer. I seem to recall that was something of a hit because I was familiar with that despite not being really into deep cuts. And a lot of Booker T stuff is kind of deep cuts. Well, first of all, all of that stuff coming out of Memphis, coming out of Stax, it's all Booker T and the MGs. Mm-hmm. You got a singer, it's Otis Redding, yeah, it's Booker T. You got Sam and Dave, it's Booker T. So there's that. And then if you're talking about the albums that they made themselves, not too many of those were hit records, but the albums sold really well. So you'll find just random selection of hits, hits on an album with Booker T arrangements. It's just a fantastically tight rhythm section. It's you would just put this on and be like, yeah, I could listen to that all day. It's like listening to Meters albums.
Julie says the Weird Al song has been featured on Underground Garage lately. Okay.
Hello. Okay.
All right.
Was that Is that the Little Steven show? I don't actually tune into that. I know it's been going on for a long time, and the man has chops, so he's playing a lot of great stuff.
Oh my gosh, so many comments I can't even.
Oh yeah. Pussy Wiggle Stomp.
Didn't Altero put lyrics to Chick Corea's Spain? Okay.
Oh yeah. I think my
that's more like your area than mine.
I think my high school jazz band played that.
Okay.
Yeah. Chick Corea. Chick Corea actually like started out like he gained a name with the Miles Davis combo around Bitches Brew. I seem to recall something along the lines of he was fired for smoking dope. I'm like, really? What was Miles doing at the time? I don't really believe that. But the fact is, like, he also, that whole band went its separate ways and formed like 5 different combos.
Okay, Eric says, I'm still trying to figure out the time signature to a track called All to Get Her by Plaid. Do you know that one?
Nope. Gonna have to look it up.
All right, we're going to have to figure that one out later.
After this, I'll look that up. Take a listen and see what the hell I can make out of that.
My high school drum ensemble did Pussy Wiggle Stomp.
Yeah. A lot of great. You start mentioning Dave Brubeck, man, the audience comes alive. We have a bunch of Brubeck, and I would listen to any of those. I got stuff my dad bought that was the stuff recorded at colleges. I forget what the hell colleges it was, but there were like 2 or 3 albums that were just live at various colleges that Brubeck Quartet did, probably around 1953. And they're really great straight ahead jazz stuff. It's not it's kind of a cool jazz thing. It's not exactly a West Coast thing. I'm trying to think because I think they were New York based, but whatever. The sound is the sound. And then they got very heavy into the time signatures, and that at one point was like the best selling jazz album ever was Time Out. By now it's been eclipsed by Kind of Blue, which is a classic.
Mad Hatter album. Do we have that?
No. I don't think I own any. I don't think we own any Chick Corea solo stuff, to tell you the truth. We've got them on various and sundry.
I'm shocked by that because we own everything else.
I think we got some Return to Forever in there somewhere. Speaking of your fusion. And definitely have a couple of 3 copies of Bitches Brew. So
Lisa says, my dad was a bluegrass man and played in a bluegrass crew back in the late 60s and 70s. He listened to Brubeck.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
Hello. Mm-hmm.
Donald Fagen likes Brubeck.
Oh, yeah. Fagen's story is that he, as like a really young teenager, was trucking in. He was a New Jersey kid. He was trucking into the city and going to the Village Vanguard and listening to people around 1960. And it would have been people like John Coltrane. Good grief. No wonder there's so much jazz happening in Steely Dan and Donald Fagen solo.
Weird Al playing in Las Vegas in less than 2 weeks with emo films. I'd be there too.
Be still the heart.
I would be there too.
Be still the heart.
That's crazy. He is amazing.
Wow.
Yes, Errol is correct. He is amazing in concert. That man has stamina for days.
Man is a living amphetamine. He just goes and goes.
Oh, Eric's saying any Dave Grusin fans.
Oh, Dave Grusin.
I feel like I am because I know the name.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I a Dave Grusin fan?
Recorded 4 albums back in the 70s for CTI. CTI was Creed Taylor. There's a good name for you. They recorded a lot of great fusion-y kind of stuff. People like Deodato. And
Julie, I'm with you. There's so much to keep track of. I'm like,
oh, please.
Okay, I was watching, I've been watching a lot of videos about making films lately. You can guess why.
You don't say.
I keep seeing all these movies. I'm like, I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that. I feel like I just could spend my day watching movies. Anyway, that was just an aside.
So I think it's Dave Grusin 1, 2, 3, 4 on CTI. I think Volume 3 has a track that was later used as a theme to Taxi, and that's why you all know Dave Grusin.
Okay.
But then he did a ton of other theme stuff. I could actually change up because my medallion is backwards. I can't believe I've had this backwards the entire time. Is it still backwards? Yeah, it's still backwards. There we go. Thank you. How embarrassing. I can admit it on air. I'll put these things on quick. I realized I didn't have any neckwear. Wow, that's kind of ridiculous out here in the Tiki room. Changed up. There we go. Much better.
Oh, Ryan, I'm with you. I wish we could hang out and listen to records. You know, there is a way. There is a way we can do this. And I keep saying, like, oh, we're going to figure it out. We're going to have a listening party. We're going to have a watching party. And then, like, I'm producing movies. So if anyone would like to figure out how we could all listen to records together and let us know.
Wouldn't that be fun?
We'll pay. Like, whatever it is we need to do to make this happen.
We should just go to Twitch and start DJing.
I just don't have time for the deep dive.
You could all comment exactly the way you're doing now.
Yeah, except we could all maybe even watch each other. It's just the deep dive.
One of these days we'll try Twitch.
Deep dive.
All the DJs have been doing it for years. Apparently they figured out this Skype right thing. Maybe they just avoid it entirely. I will tell you that the big platforms here make a big deal out of it, but so much copyrighted material is going on unscathed on both of these platforms that I think, why am I the one to get nailed? Huh. Seriously.
Oh, the Asia album.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
Oh, okay. I love it.
That's like your classic, jazzy, smooth rock album.
We got to figure out Twitch.
Yeah.
In our spare time.
I think some people will actually talk about that album and sort of deride it as something called yacht rock. And I think if you can define what exactly that is for me, then maybe I'll believe it. But ultimately, at the time, Steely Dan was just doing what they did.
I think I kind of like yacht rock.
Yeah. So actually, we have the first...
I'm a fan of yacht rock.
We own the first 3 Steely Dan albums in quadraphonic, and those are great. They're great in the format, and they sound fantastic. And I'm happy with them.
Different genres have different uses.
They do.
You know, like I love a yacht rock song because it just takes me back to the days of like Kenny Loggins and cocaine. But I love punk rock too.
The days of cocaine? What now?
Kenny Loggins and cocaine.
Well, he was undoubtedly indulging in such things, but you know.
Everyone was. It was a scene.
You were 10 years old.
Well, no, I wasn't there. It just makes me think of it.
It makes you think about that sort of thing. No.
Well, I was nearby.
I was not at Studio 54.
I was in Newport Beach, but I wasn't there.
Close enough.
But I just think of, hearing these yacht rock songs, these songs that are considered yacht rock now, and I think about where I was, and I was on a boat. So, yeah. Can I say
you might have been on a large pleasure craft of some
When people
type.
talk about yacht rock, I'm like, okay, so I lived on a boat.
So...
And I'm not sure that's yacht rock.
Does that qualify? I was there at the time. I'm just saying. Wondering about that.
I'm just saying.
Area woman is just saying.
Area woman is just saying. Is there a Zoom way to do this? There might be, and we actually pay for Zoom because we're suckers. I mean, we have a company, so
we need to have a professional contract here to make sure.
So we need to have Zooms that are more than 40 minutes. And
the fact is, these broadcasts are more than 40 minutes. So if we did a Zoom with you all, then we would expect to be doing that with our contract.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Hold the bus.
Errol says, embarrassing, Paul. Try being a guest speaker with your fly open.
Hello, folks.
Errol, when we do our Zoom show, we're going to have you as a special guest.
Yeah, could you be on and could you do that? This only makes me think of what am I thinking of? High Anxiety, where you've got the speaker at the psychological convention, and then suddenly he's speaking about penis envy, and suddenly 2 kids come in, and he's like, hilarious. But there we go. That's a good little bit of...
well, you just got to shut down by saying penis. But, anyway.
Hey!
But then I reiterated penis, and then... And then I might have said penis again. Anyway.
No, I said it once.
People have said Christopher Cross is yacht rock. Christopher Cross is yacht rock.
I think he defines yacht rock.
Yes.
He actually sings about yachts.
Yes.
None of these other guys do. Jeez. When did Loggins and Messina ever sing about yachts? I'm just saying.
So I can... Yacht rock earlier year of the cat.
This is time passages.
Ah, okay.
Oh, geez. That's Al Stewart. Hello. Al Stewart? Am I right?
Wait.
Yeah, I think so.
Dave Anram is doing a Kerouac Centennial tribute at the Falcon. Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
okay. So many things to see.
Plenty going on. I hope so. I hope something's going on. A lot has been prevented from going on. And even now...
Nope.
Even now, one has to be careful.
Yes.
Well, one always has to be careful. Every time you tell me to be careful in the subway, I think, well, we started in the early 90s in New York City, and you had to be careful then, and nothing has changed, in my opinion.
You can say happiness,
Always.
but you can't say penis.
Ah.
I have a funny story about that, too, that we'll share on our Zoom.
Yeah. So we can talk about that a little later.
Yeah, Rock, help me if you can. I've got to get back to the house at Pooh Corner by 1. Oh. Glenn Campbell clips Al Stewart. Oh my gosh. Full sale. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's all coming at me and I can't keep up and I love it. I love it.
Oh, wait a minute. Full Sail Logs in Messina. Yeah.
Yes,
they're actually on a yacht on the cover of that record.
Yep.
Got me.
Yep.
Got me.
I remember that.
We might own that. Got to think about that, though.
We might own that. He doesn't even know.
I don't know. Got to look at the collection.
I don't even know.
Al Stewart started out
Is it in quad? If it's in quad, you own it.
That might be why we own that. Yeah. I can't actually play that for you correctly yet, but we will soon enough. And Al Stewart, thank you. I'm glad that I was not completely off base there. Those were clearly, that's his 2 biggest hits from that period. Got a lot of airplay at the time.
Doug, we're seeing Duran Duran in August.
Actually we are.
We have tickets.
Yeah. We had, I always said to myself, yeah, I'm not ever going to bother seeing those guys. But then we had an opportunity to see Erasure, so I said, yeah, I'd see those guys. But they had to cancel. That was back in January.
Which was for completely horrific, sad
horrific,
reasons.
Horrific personal reasons, and that's life and the way it goes. So power to those 2 gentlemen both. They put out a hell of a lot of sound for 2 guys. And but as it turns out, your sister found an opportunity for tickets at Madison Square Garden, the Garden, for freak's sake. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll be there seeing Duran.
So I'll be going into New York City in August, which is something I would typically never do because New York City in August is the worst.
Whoa.
But because we lived there for a really long time, so we can say that.
Yeah,
I'm not prejudging. We lived there.
You're not prejudiced.
New York City in August
you lived there. It's hideous.
But
too much. Subtropical.
Because Duran Duran.
Well, they'll be at the Garden, and we will be very
Marcy.
Very near to one of our favorite places, Keen's. So I think we're going to indulge in that, and then check out some Garden action. Christopher Cross is a crazy guitar player. Opened for Philip's cousin in Ambrosia. Got great stories about Kenny Loggins. I'm gonna hit you up. We've got literally less than a month where you could tell us about such things, perhaps at a steakhouse, because we will be near a couple of good ones at the lake. Or if we simply want to find a box of wine, we will have 3 of them. Glendora is going to be bringing some product there. Yeah. The Glendora room will happen. Glendora's snacks have already been acquired. Yeah. Glendora's crawl room in Ohana. It's easy going. It's Hi, Richard. Well. People love it. Hey! Yeah, thank you for stopping by. It's funny because you think of Christopher Cross as a piano player, because I think he was playing. Am I wrong? Was he playing leads on that, or was he always just a guitar player on these things? Oh, Elizabeth says taking the hubby to see the Eagles this weekend in Vegas for his birthday. Have fun. Hello. Okay. Oh, Eric says I like to do it before Erasure that Vince Clarke did. Oh, yeah. Yazoo or Yaz. Yes, love them too. Vince Clarke is clearly the hardest working man in 2-person new wave combos because he not only has... He's all over the place. He not only has Erasure and Yaz, but he was also a founding member of Depeche Mode. First album, he's all over that too. It's like, he's just everywhere. Hardest working man. Yep. Gotta say. Great the Energizer Bunny of synth. Oh, Duran is coming to Vegas in September. Yes. Come on down. Enjoy that. I'm excited. They have such a large catalog by the end of the summer. We're going to need a Lost Weekend. They have such a large catalog by now that you could literally enjoy 10 albums well past their huge period and say, oh, there's all this great stuff. Time at Ohana. Yes. Hello. Yes. How many days is something like 30? At this point? No, it's less. 28? Hello. Stories Till Dawn at Ohana. Yes. It's
Now, the room crawl, this is how we're doing a crawl. So the room crawl is a month from yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Snacks mix.
So the luau is a month from today.
Today. How about?
I know. It's going to go by fast. Hi, Charlene.
Well, thank you indeed.
So good to see you. Thank you.
This is essentially a new old look because we've been out here for a long time doing this type of broadcast.
Well,
in recent months, no, because it's been pretty chilly. So we're glad to be
Tiki room.
Back in the New York roof.
But thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
We did sort of redo this room last year. So, and it's most months of the year. Well, not most. Many months of the year, it's too cold to be out here. So, yeah.
It is a Florida room, which means it has louver windows. Yeah. And in the Northeast, that is pretty chilly. But there are many days where the temperature gets up in February, and this room will get warm. So it's great to be out here.
Bartenders. Oh my gosh. Oh. All right, so much stuff to check out. Oh,
Big Elvis.
I can't even keep up with everything you guys are telling us to keep up with.
There's so much content here.
Amy found flamingo-shaped gummy candies. Oh.
I think we need to see some of those at Ohana. They'd make great drink garnishes.
I think that's what she needs.
Yeah. Hello.
I feel like Ohana needs to be a little longer.
I feel like it needs to have more garnishes. And I think people need to relax a little more. Some people are a little canonical with drinks. I think, let it ride. It'll be okay. We have so many great mixologists on campus. Suzanne actually does all of the big bin drinks, everything you're drinking all weekend.
Yeah.
She supervises like a team of 10.
Which is why they're quality.
Which is why they're quality. Because she has been formulating for decades, and of course was a co-owner out in Oakland of a fantastic place. We have the mug over there.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good. That's why your Mai Tai is good. That's why your fog cutter is good at Ohana. All the specialty drinks we'll work with. So
I love that people keep the standards high because
it's always
amazing.
If I ever sound a little punk about these things, I just like to have fun with them. But at the end of the day, is the balance good? If we make something here where it falls flat, I'll tell you, no, that's wrong. If I invent it myself, I'm like, yeah, that's off. Add a little bit more of this, add a little bit more of that. Make it work. And for Pete's sake, those damn beach drinks that are 14 different liqueurs and no actual sour are horrible. Horrible.
Ugh.
And they're blue. And they're just like, it's just a bunch of sweet crap. Don't drink this.
But I have to say, there is a human interest in bright food and drinks.
The color is one thing.
I mean, I don't think it doesn't mean that they're good.
No.
It just means that, I think we all go back to our childhood. It's like,
bright colors.
What is that bright blue drink?
Bright colors were interesting. Yeah.
And then you taste it and it's horrible.
And it's like, woo, yeah, no way.
But if you can make that good.
Can you make that good? That's one of our specialties around here. So.
We try.
So, Abra, the thing about Ohana tickets is they sell out extremely quickly because there's a limited head count.
Get on the mailing list.
So if you miss tickets, you immediately get on the alternate list because people cancel. And frankly, I'm not going to advise you less than 30 days out to try to get on that list because too many people are on it right now. But earlier in the year, if you'd had that, those tickets would have come because that happens.
It always pays to be on the wait list, but it's a little late now to make plans, which I get. But
yeah, this is kind of crazy now.
But get on the mailing list because then he says that tickets will go on sale at blah 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 o'clock,
and you can be there at that time.
Yeah,
and hit it and go.
And then you'll probably get in.
Yeah, it makes a difference. But if you were to miss it and immediately get on the alternate list.
Yeah, sold out in 11 minutes.
People cancel.
So if you were there at the time, you probably would have been fine.
This is a level of craziness. It's just a lot of fanaticism. But it's a lot of anticipation, too. But people's plans change, and that does change up. So
exactly. So, but if you could be there when they're selling them, and it's like, oh, gee, you missed out by one person, you'll probably get in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's the word of advice. Word to the wise. Is it about that time?
I feel like he's signaling me.
I'm not signaling. I'm actually asking. Is it about that time?
It probably is.
Yeah.
It's 10:30. Wow, we've gone for 2.5 hours.
We could probably go for another half. And I don't know.
I don't know either.
However, just for the sake of continuity.
I don't know either, but...
For the sake of continuity and matching edits, we probably should let you know.
Exactly. All right.
That we'll see you in a week or so. No, in a week exactly.
A week, exactly.
Exactly. With a new theme, we might be out here again. It's actually a pretty popular place to be.
I hope so. We'll clear off more stuff.
Well, we love being out here. I mean, this is our house, so it's great to be out here. We have fantastic artifacts out here. It's great to be able to just reach over and say, I want that swizzle stick. Bang. There it is. And make that happen. Oh, I wanted this mug. This is what is popularly known as a Leilani mug. Occurs, like so many different manufacturers did this mold. They all ripped each other off. This one is actually branded the Hawaiian Inn. I believe this was actually Hawaii. I'm not sure which island.
Oh, Errol,
and who made this? It just says Japan. Probably Odagiri. So, but these are really cool. It's a great Mai Tai size. It works really well. I have the Hawaii Kai Mai Tai in here. Boy, is that off cannon right there.
But it was a good drink.
But it's a good drink.
I would probably have added a little more citrus to it, but
you can do that easily and just goose it up.
But it's
make that happen.
It's a legit drink, if not a legit Mai Tai.
It's
put it that way.
It's a fantastic thing. So.
Oh, separation anxiety. I know. Lisa. We love you too.
I know.
We love you guys so much.
We should just Zoom sometime and just, take the edge off.
I know. Well, we need to figure this out. If you're up for a Zoom, message us because we pay for Zoom. We can go longer than 40 minutes.
We're already paying for it. So you might as well take advantage.
Go longer than 40 minutes.
The simple fact is we've got a lot on the mind these days, so I might seem a little scatterbrained, but if you send your comments, I will always come back to it because I'm not here to talk to the wall. I'm here to talk to you. And we're here to try things out, and we've got some fantastic suggestions for future shows. We will put that into action. And a great idea is if you remember, my aunt used to go to this place in Philadelphia that made this one drink, and it was called, boom. Can you figure that out?
We'll look for it.
We'll look it up.
We'll try to figure it out.
We've got pretty good resources, and we have pretty good contacts, and maybe we can suss out what the hell was in that drink.
It's time to dream about sleep. I know that feeling.
People spend a lot of time.
I know that feeling.
Once the Mai Tai became a thing, circa early 60s. Well, probably like early mid 50s, probably more like that. Suddenly, everybody had to make one, and nobody knew what was in it, so they all had an imitator. Here's one of the imitators right here.
They just made it up.
They just made it up. What did they do? Somebody went to the bar at Trader Vic's and ordered a Mai Tai, drank it, and said, "What's in that?" Well, I think it's this. Interesting things happen from there. Some of them are actually not bad, and some of them are pretty terrible ideas. But you can always have a Vic's Mai Tai.
All right, we need to figure this out.
All right.
Okay, we got to figure this out.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
We're so glad that we could have this time together to borrow a phrase
from Carol Burnett,
because her show was brilliant. And
this is the awkward signing off part.
If I'm doing anything right at all, you might think the same of us.
Oh.
But at the end of the day, we just try to have a few drinks, a few laughs, a little song, a little dance, and maybe a little seltzer down your pants. Oh, well, that sounds a little wet. But the simple fact is, it's fantastic to spend 2 hours with you on a Wednesday, and we've already gone past 2.5. Good grief!
I know.
I'm still standing. That's a good sign, Rare. But
we love you guys.
this show always degenerates into music and TV and stuff like that. And
which I love.
Pop culture.
I love
It's
that.
what we deal with. It's what we started with, and we're still doing it.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun. Keep listening to Henry Mancini and Dave Brubeck. That's fantastic. Oh, Quincy Jones and Lalo Schifrin, please.
Yes.
Fantastic names.
Jerry Fielding.
Jerry Fielding. That's a great name to mention. You know,
Hoyt Axton.
He's a little overlooked with these things. I'm still wondering about the Hoyt Axton TV thing.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Folks, wherever you go, whatever you do, be safe because things are still happening. Always take care of each other. And, you know, whatever happens, we